So let's just take a quick look at the map. It's been quite a while. Music doesn't blow up my eardrums. This is the Age of Empires 4 soundtrack. It's absolutely incredible and one of the many great parts of that game. So we haven't had a good look at the map in a while. Before we just get back into it, and we're constantly fighting colonial wars again and expanding, let's take a little look around. So obviously the big change that happened yesterday was the creation of America. When France was getting partitioned by revolutionary Bavaria and Britain, their colony of Florida managed to get independence and has now formed. So we have a US. Though just a reminder, it is a monarchy. The king did die though, and so there's a regency for Henry IV, the to-be king of the United States. Pretty cool development. They're already allied with Norwegian Louisiana by the Great Lakes. All right. We've lost all our territory in the New World. So Castilla obviously has the majority of the remaining portions. Cuba is still around and very strong navally. Byzantium owns Brazil. We've got Britain owning a little bit of Peru. Hosokawa still down there in Chile. We're currently fighting the Papal States alongside Castilla. We're not allied, but we both are together. Let's take a little look at the culture map mode there. Umbrian. Greek, Egyptian. Greek Brazil is going to be very weird. Greek Sardinian Brazil. Still a lot of native culture around too. Quebecois up there. And then religiously, let's take a look at that. I just haven't looked at it either. I'm kind of curious. Shinto is still holding out. They're getting converted. They won't be around much longer. Mayan actually still is in Mexico. Orthodox and then Catholic from us. Shia, southern Chile. In Africa, Yoruba land has taken basically everything in the central portion. Fatma is still very strong. Somalia, Congo, Egyptian South Africa, British South Africa, and then the Moravi, who are independent. One of the people we... It's loud? I'll turn it down a wee bit. Let's try that. Let me know if that's still too loud. In Asia, the Chagatai have completely conquered the last portions of the Ming, which have, I think, like 3 provinces left, though. If you remember, Bona, which was their colony in Indonesia, we had an event where they declared themselves the new empire. So technically and that includes in the actual mechanic in the game for China, they are now the Chinese Empire, the former colony of the Ming in Indonesia. Paulus very strong, Maharashtra very strong, Delhi's still around. The Gizarids are actually very strong too. They'll probably end up being Iran. Oman died last session pretty much. And then we're going to have India and Australia as well. As well as obviously the Usagai and the Hosokawa still fighting. They're in a war. I didn't realize that actually. We could offer to help them out if they need it. We want them to obviously win that. How does the Vic-3 converter handle the African megastates? Spaghetti, I have no idea. I'm going to be honest. I haven't tested it yet. So I may break them up a little bit and not give them all the interior just so it's more interesting, but we'll see. You got to remember, a lot of areas are very advanced compared to our own reality, so it's a little bit different. And then let's look at the religious map mode really quickly in Asia. Confucian being converted. Mahayana Buddhism. Hindu Indonesia, Confucian Indonesia, and then Sunni Indonesia. Huh. Interesting. And then what remains of Europe as well. We've obviously got revolutionary Bavaria, absolutely massive. They have grown so quickly. They fought off successfully Britain, France, and Castile all at the same time. Just a reminder, they have the Prussian idea group, so they are incredibly strong in EU4. The Netherlands did form. Sweden is still fairly strong. Lithuania and Byzantium are going to be the really big powers in the east. However, they are now bordering the Chagatai, so I think that'll be very interesting, especially when we get to Victoria 3. And a few small states still left. Hungary actually still has a lot of independent countries. Bosnia, Ruthenia is still technically alive, our old allies. And then Hesse is holding out too. We're going to have some very centralized states when we get to Vic 3. I may break up some of these countries to make it more interesting. I may not. We'll kind of see how that goes. So, alrighty. It's the current state of things. When we ended last session, we had that very opportune moment when Byzantium invaded the Papal States. We joined with them and managed to defeat them navally as well as on land. We've completely sieged out their European holdings and are now finishing the last of the sieging of the Papal colonies in the Americas, primarily Argentina. We also have a royal marriage with the Castellan royal family now for Solomon Torres. I didn't fix that again. Oh, we got another trait too. He's also industrious. Wonderful. And we also may be able to ally them pretty soon, which we may do because Byzantium's become very hostile to us recently. So, a lot of craziness yesterday. We're still in 2 mega wars because not only are we still in this war with the Papal States, we also still have to go fight that war in Asia. We're currently at war with the Bong. I don't know how to say that. Oman. And then I think there's one other country we're at war with too. Yeah, these guys down here as well. So we're just holding out to wait and we're going to go back into that war. Chagatai is giant. So what's up, John? Yeah, so colonialism in Africa, I think, will be a lot more limited when we get to Vicky 3. But again, I just don't know what that converter will do, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. The other major thing is we've been getting industrialization events in Cagliari very early. Notably, we have, let's see if it's still there. They're not there anymore. But we've got a coal province here, and we've already invented the atmospheric engine with an event in EU4, and then there's another, I think, the steam engine as well. The other giant thing is, given obviously the revolution succeeded in Bavaria, it's been spreading all over Europe, creating a lot of unrest. We've had the most rebels we've had the whole game recently. The revolution has fully encompassed France, Castalla, and now it's in Sardinia too. So there is a chance we may have some big issues. Also in the roleplay, just a reminder, we do have technically now a 4th faction, which is the Naval Admiralty, who due to their success now have a lot of power. They've kind of groomed the current King Solomon to rule. So the Admiralty and our Navy command is kind of more or less running things. So, and yes, they're very advanced. The Chagatai are completely caught up. So are the Mongols. Very technologically advanced. They are terrifying. Almost 1 million soldiers right now. With that, let's get back into things. We are still fighting our war in South America with the Papal States. We need to get these last few sieges. And then we are going to hopefully be able to get a nice peace deal. I'm going to try and get us to take the southern portion of Argentina here, which is what Castile doesn't want. That will piss off Byzantium, though. So we are going to be closing the door towards working with them, unfortunately. But given we are trying to rebuild our colonies, this is kind of a big moment. So we'll take our shot here. Send out some of our diplomats real quick, too. Let's go ahead and core Polynesia, which is the Hawaiian island chain we've taken. Very valuable lands. And I think we are just about good. We've got rebels there too. Keep forgetting about. And no, we will not be taking peace deal. So we're going to take all of Sicily in this peace deal, and we're also going to take southern Argentina. That's the current plan. But we need to get a lot more war score. So back into it. Castile will beat us to that siege up there too, but we will get this one. I am going to fire on the walls if I haven't done so already. I have. Doing it a better general here. Not bad. Barzone di Aragona. He's a 6 maneuver, 3 shock, and 4 fire. 3 siege 2. They brought down both of their armies to the south here. So I think we need to take this big siege up here. I'm going to move all of our artillery to fire on the fort. When we're done, we're going to send a whole army down and see if we can fight them, push them out here. And yeah, it's basically Bavaria, French Republic. We haven't seen Napoleon pop up yet. That'd be cool if we see like a Bavarian Napoleon event or something. I don't know if EU4 does that. I know you can get one as France, but I don't know if you can get it with other countries if you have the revolution. Some a little bit too. Man, we actually need a lot more admin power. Illinois is independent? I don't believe so. They are, you're right. The hell? The Kingdom of Illinois. They're allied with America too. It's ruled by a king. Norwegian culture. It's Norwegian Illinois. That's interesting. I didn't notice that actually. Wow. We are going to try and ally the Americans too. They really like us. So natural ally for us in the New World. All right, this is going to get very, very dangerous here. See if they take a battle with us. Nope, and we got the siege too. Take the mountains. Castile has entered their war with the Papal States. We need to get a big battle here. They've got actually a rather large army. We need to be very careful. Trade over large distances can be risky if profitable. The weather, brigands, and pirates remain a threat on land as well as water. Normally the burghers can cope with a large amount of mishaps, have their own ways to protect themselves and ensure their cargo. Lately, however, things have been going badly for a large number of merchant families. Do we have any loans? We don't. We'll bill out the traders. We want to obviously keep the burghers loyal to us given how powerful they are. And we got a really good advisor, which we'll get when we are not debilitatingly in debt here. In my mod idea, should the Soviet lose land or no? That is very tough to say. That's really dependent on the focus trees you're going to go for. So very hard for me to comment on that, I'll be honest. Those are all just design choices. Try not to get us a bad mountain fight here. We'll take them there. Maybe we can get the reinforcement. This is dangerous. Let's go. They are going to take this fight. This is big. I'm going to force march in. Go, 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 go. We're defending in mountains. This is big. Come on, reinforce, reinforce. Go, 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 go. Fuck. They stack wiped it. This is bad. Are we gonna win? Oh my god, we won! Okay, did not expect that, but that's big. Whoa. Damn. Okay. Well, let's take our Aurora then. That was big. I did not expect us to win that. I mean, we had so much artillery, to be fair. Or, I mean, we're literally filling the entire back line, I think, even in these mountains. Wow. We have a very good general now, to be fair. That's the 465. He is a beast. Our land army is actually starting to get not completely incompetent. Spire on the fort. That's actually really big, not gonna lie. Our diplomat, let's work more on... We're just balancing all our relations. Maybe Sweden? Yeah, let's get good relations with them. We're just trying to make all the great powers in Europe not hate us right now. That's the key while we expand. Out of sight, out of mind. When we get this fort, we should, I think, have the war score we need here. Go deal with their armies again, too. They've lost a lot of soldiers. I think we can probably take the peace deal we want out of them here. We lost the siege of Rome to rebels. No, we still have it, actually. We did lose that siege. Bring our fleet back. We can do some... Ooh, they've got an army here. I did not even notice that. Let's build up this mainland army, and then we will deal with them in a minute. Yeah, they took back their sieges here too. God damn it. This is a tougher war than I expected, I'll be honest. Papal states are still not as weak as you would imagine here, honestly. What do we want? We want to get Sicily, and we want to get a bunch of Argentina. House Torres has produced 2 monarchs, which has brought us out of the darkness. Yeah, we've been getting really lucky lately. The privateers are wanting to work with us. We can employ pirates. Honestly, we're not above privateering. We never have been. And we'll never D it and see if we can do something. Cagliari manufacturing, absolutely. A manufacturing, can we do that one there? Because it's cold. Do we have the tech for that? Yeah, we do. A furnace. Let's build a furnace there. Got the siege. Should win this no problem. 3 times their size. We are... We'll give the burghers the rights they're wanting. As we look to centralize the state, we inevitably infringe on the autonomy of the urban dwellers, who have always existed under a different code of rules than their rural brethren. We're really trying to keep the burghers close to our chest here, so we'll give them their privileges. Economic policy would become more and more important for our government, so we don't want to cause any rifts there. All right, let's go knock out this army in the south. Being a drunkard is a tradition of good Taurus monarchs. True. I'm sure King Solomon, given his competence, would be an absolute drunk. He's so good. Bold fighter, industrious, 625. He's the king that we've been needing for a long time. The prince who was promised. Alrighty. Let's not cross the river here if possible. Go. Big battle, come on. Got it. See if we can get the peace we want yet. They gotta have a lot of war exhaustion at this point, honestly. Nope. Alright, we're gonna bring this army over, and we're gonna go ahead and siege out the rest of their holdings in the west. This is actually gonna end up being a very long war. This is costly too, because... oh boy, we got a lot of work to do in Asia. It's an army. Take public punishments. Malta too? I'd rather we get more colonial land than take Malta, and we don't want to create too big of a coalition in Europe either here. It's a lot of aggressive expansion to take those super developed Sicilian provinces. We have another ability too. Let's see, what would make sense here? Anti-revolutionary zeal would make sense. We're very old school. Napoleonic warfare, given all of our recent times. Improved force march would make a lot of sense. We've been using it so much. Improved artillery range. Additional diplomats. I'll put up a poll myself real quick so the mods don't have to read these things. You guys gonna decide our next ability? You have a couple. Make sure to keep in mind, focus more on the roleplay aspect rather than the bonuses. And then diplomats. Oh. Yeah, we can't even get Sicily from them right now, so we got a ways to go here. Just walk there. Never mind. Oh, we need a transport fleet. Well, we do not. The revolution has spread. Revolutionary Austria. Oh God, look at Bavaria, dude. Knock out that army. We'll meet up with our other forces in Sora, and then we'll march on the Peruvian capital here again. The fall of Kyoto. Oh, the Yusugai won their war of the Hosokawa. Oh, that's big. Yeah, because they're allied to the Chagatai, aren't they? They are. They called in the Chagatai to beat the Hosokawa. Oh my gosh. Yeah, our allies in Asia are looking really good here. Let's send another diplomat. Make sure they don't forget about us here while we're a little bit absent from Asia. We are very much winning. Russia. What's up, Chiefs? Let's meet up. Oh, Lord. 70,000 revolutionaries just popped in Sardinia. All right, we got to take a piece here. We got to deal with that. The people are rising up against us. We're gonna take the deal. That's unfortunate, but like in RP, there's no way we'd just like continue this war with our current ability to negotiate if we have a full-blown radical revolution. Let's move all of our troops down to the port in Rio. We need to bring back everyone here. And last time I'm gonna check. Nope. Take the deal. We got the majority of Sicily and we got a couple provinces in North Africa. I was hoping we get colonial land, but the crisis currently ongoing in Sardinia is way too important and pressing to deal with. So what won that poll? Oionic warfare. Alrighty. A mission to build manufactories. Wonderful. 5,000 ducats. Holy crap, that's a really good mission. My gosh. Got Imperial Conquest too. That'll help with our prestige deficit. Holy crap. All right, we can pay off our loans immediately. That's massive. All right, let's get our troops to port and let's get our transport ships awaiting them. We need a deal. We're gonna land our army in Cagliari and march north right after. It'll be a while. They have to take out the fort in Sassari, which is very strong. And yes, we will be executing everyone who marched against our government and our capital. Let's hold on to our wealth for a little. Oh God. Revolutionary Rome. Oh my God. Byzantium went with a revolution. Oh God. Consul Adrianus of revolutionary Byzantium. If we weren't before, we're definitely allying with Castalla now. Oh my God. Europe's two greatest powers just went revolutionary. That is insane. Even Castalla, Britain and France, they couldn't fight Bavaria alone, let alone Byzantium. We can contend their fleet, but still. Oh my God, man. Holy shit, dude. Oh, okay. Right when things were starting to go our way too. And there's no way in hell we'll ever embrace it willingly, right? It would take the monarchy, you know, being ousted properly. I'm gonna take Kearsarge early. We need that advantage right now. Take the Lancers. Another one of our privateering captains went rogue. My gosh. Gosh, dude. Every time we get our head above the surface, something happens. Every single time. Without fail. It's kind of ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's interesting, but dude. Ruthenia is currently now the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. That's interesting. Let's take that trade advisor we got, the good one. Bernat Homo di Mura. The Yusugai formed Japan as well because they took Kyoto. Oh, wow. Yeah, Hosokawa's days are numbered. Japan is now officially formed, and we're allies with them too. Oh boy, man. You know what, though? You know what we have, though? If this was any other king during a time like this, I'd be thinking we're about to throw in the towel. But I gotta say, for anyone to be leading us right now, King Solomon is that guy. Of all the times for us to get a strong king, we got it right when we needed it. Our heir is an embezzler? Oh, come on. Well, our son's not going to be very good. We gotta get through the hard times now with Solomon. Oh no, we are not peacing in Asia. As soon as these rebels are dealt with, we're going back to Asia to win that war. This is win or die. Let's upgrade all our star forts too. We will most likely have need of them. Counter-revolutionaries in Corsica. The subversive ideals of the Bavarian Revolution have taken hold in Corsica, perverting the natural order of things. However, right-thinking members of nobility will not accept this state of affairs without a fight. We're actually going to be working with the nobles. I never thought I'd see the day. They have rallied their forces and promised to drive the revolutionaries out of Corsica. We'll give them our support. Their army over. Our army costs are so high right now. Are we over the limit? We are not. It took control of Arborea. That sucks, but we have to wait here. We should send our son on a hunting trip, you know? If Solomon gets like a really brutal, like cruel or strict trait for his last one, we might actually just get rid of our son. Not gonna lie. But I don't think the current shape of his character would do it. Go down to speed 3 for a little while here. Things are moving way too quick. The regimental towns. As the army becomes a way to earn a living for the increasing number of our subjects, the cities that house the army installations and barracks are starting to grow under supervision of army engineers and renovators. And Corsensis, the growth of Corsensis has come to benefit the entire province. Our heir is doing really well in his studies, though. I'll give him that. Let's catch that army before they meet up with the rest of them. Our whole army put together is only a few more than what they have in Sassari. We'll take the siege in Arborea, and then we're going to march north. Yorubaland is preparing to declare war on us. We need allies, and we can't make them when we're at war. We can't fight Yorubaland right now. Another hard call here. They have 500,000 soldiers. And you know the Papal States will let them through their land after what we did to them. Try and placate them. We have a very small tech advantage. All right, almost done. We're about to march. Here we go. We have to beat this revolutionary army. Can't be overconfident here. Is there any way to get there without the river crossing? Cagliari too. We're gonna have to have shitty rolls too. Here we go. Come on. We got it. Big. Our general's just so good. All right, we have to look at the economy, and then we have to figure out what to do about Yorubaland. I'd love to mothball our fleet right now, but we really can't. Not with so many threats around us. Did lost to those galleys. Oh. Crush their navy and then leave them. Do you mean Yorubaland? We'd have to lose all of North Africa to do that, though. I do think Asia is more important, though. All right, we're heading with the army to Asia. Screw it. Let's not piss off Castalla right now. It is not the time. We need more infantry, too. This is also not enough. We'll have to leave some of this artillery here. Wait for the reinforcements, and then we're going to go. That's such a stressful job for the diplomat we sent. Sent into a land that he literally knows is like about to potentially declare war on us. It's expensive. 8. They canceled their military access we got from them, or that I guess they had with us. Revolutionary Angria. The heck? I thought that was someone attacking our fleet. I was like, hold on, did Oman send a fleet to the Mediterranean? They did not. Revolutionary map mode does not look good. That is the state of the revolution. We've removed it from our lands, though, thankfully, except in Sicily. I did in Golden Age. We should right now, shouldn't we, given everything? We need 3 objectives. What are we missing? 1 more promoted culture. We can do that right now. We'll go with Polynesian. And then we'll fire the Golden Age. Can we not? 2, 3. Is it bugged? We have 3. Monthly tick. Yeah, let's see if that does it. Nope, we're at war. Who joined? Did we have any allies? Japan and Lombardy and Switzerland all joined. All right, we will not fight alone. Lombardy has 100,000 men. Japan has 250,000 if they actually send them. We gotta play this fucking careful. All right, let's get our troops across. Here we go. Oh boy. Turn that music up real quick. Hold on. Multicultural. Golden Age. Here we go. This is make or break. Thankfully, we did just upgrade all of our, I upgraded the last of our star forts there. This one won't be done in time. Nope. Damn it. We can't hide behind this little fortress wall here in Bona. I'm gonna grow the army too. Screw it. We need, what's the ratios we need right now? 19, 4, 19, that's 38 and 38. We are going to need a lot more infantry. Lombardy is actually sending men too. Religious classes among the merchants. We're staying out of that. Or we'll try and get them to stop, I guess. Our heir actually completed his education. Wonderful. We're basically doing a North Korea of Indonesia right now. We're just permanently at war because we've never signed a treaty with them. Upgrade the fleet. Did the Congo join with them? They did not. That's big. Did Lombardy take their forces back? There's so many men coming, though. Did we just lose our admiral? No, we don't. We still have a Sorio. We are going to need him. Let's get another general, too. Bozzoni Savoyer. He's not as good as Aragona. Alessandro Di Cardi. A 4-5-6-6. Jesus, we will take that. We can actually have one more general, too. Screw it. Marcel Bodo, a 6-5, 3-4. We have some good generals, though, right when we need them. I'm going to take this battle. We don't know if we'll get another chance like this, where their troops may be not united. I don't see any reinforcements. Oh, we got to take this. Yep, they're gonna run. First battle of the war, come on! Reinforce, reinforce, reinforce! Big! Oh, we are rolling so bad. Got it! A lot of them got away, but that's fine. The longer we hold this, if Biscar can actually complete building that fort, that would be so big for us. It's not the right button. We're gonna harass their fleets as soon as these are done. We have a lot of sailors, thank goodness. There's another one. General, can you rename generals? Is that actually possible? You mean like make a new one and do it? Yeah, sure. Okay, oh my god. We got ourselves a JoJo reference, I think. I think that's from JoJo, isn't it? He's a 4-4-6-5 too. My gosh, all right. We have no shortage of good generals anymore. I'm worried about that manpower. We're really down. He was, no, he's an actual general. All right. I thought that was a character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Completely wrong. We got reinforcements. A lot of men. Actually, hold on. Can I pull this off? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna try something dangerous here. Oh my god. I'm gonna take this. Nope. Fuck, so many of them. God damn it, we leave Lombardy up here. They're not bringing soldiers. Maybe we can get Lombardy to put some of their troops on our boats here. I know what we're gonna do if I can get this. Oh, god damn it. I think they're committed. We can probably take this. Is there anything else I can do? Let's get a better advisor. Can we get a discipline? Big? Any other better ideas we can take right now? Don't think so. Nope. Thinking if there's anything else that would help here. No, not really. We got our best general, right? We want the pure battle one. 4-5, no we don't. We want the 6-5 probably. No, shock is more important with the stats that we have, so we'll go 4-6. Seymundo Alfieri is going to lead this battle. This is the best we can do. Come on! Oh! Big! Big! Oh! We stack wiped them! Massive! Go, go, go! Press the advantage. Oh, no, they're reinforcing. Oh, they're bringing 100,000. Let's retreat past the fort line here. That was big. Knocked out 30,000 men there. Oh, they're coming. They're going to Bizerta. Another 70,000. Let's try and get some of our men to reinforce, and then we're going to go in again, I'd say. We just need to knock out anyone we can here. Unguarded troops in Biskra right now. If we hit them right here, this could be another big victory. And then we will go right now. Oh, they're bringing back reinforcements again. See what they do here. Yeah, they've got a lot now. We have the money for mercenaries. I'm gonna hire some. It's worth it, I'd say. We can get another 22. Smart here. Take the Swiss Guard. That'll give us discipline. And we have another... only 7. That's fine. We'll leave it there. They're going to reinforce this. Oh, we need to build that castle there. Fuck. Retreat to the fort line. They have no general here. They don't have a general. Snares will take a while. We gotta start making moves though. Highlands. Are these all highlands? These are desert. If they go here, we can hit them. No, they're gonna back up. God damn it. Big. Big. Oh, split it. Come on. Go, 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 go. Fucking rebels. God damn it. Take the small victories here. They're going to reinforce. Not enough. We hold it. Reinforcements, come on, come on. Roll. Oh, we're gonna get it. Huge. We want it. Go, 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 go. Oh, this is big. No fucking way. We actually won that. Oh my God. Let's take this. Let's go. Holy fuck. Let's go. Careful here. Y'all ready to see some shit? Oh my God, we got it! Huge! Go, 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 go! No way! That is so big. Oh my God. And let's go hit that 36 right after. No fucking way. Hey, I need a second here. Jesus Christ. I can't believe that went that way. It seems our military high command has done some reforms, I would say. We're fucking them up. We've killed 300,000. I think it's time to hit their navy. Let's just recuperate. Let's rebuild. Let's wait until they hit us again. There's no reason to do anything else right now. We can't siege until we've knocked out a lot more of their men here. Let's get back a little bit too. We don't want to be surprised. Let's move down to the coastline. Start knocking out some of their fleets here. We're in business. We can take some of Africa here too. If this keeps going our way. A merchant family from Caesarea has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with Castalla by successfully establishing themselves in both Cordoba and Castalla's hinterlands. Wonderful. Here comes Lombardy too. I guess they've decided that we actually have a chance of winning. Let's go knock out that army. Yeah, Lombardy didn't send any men in the beginning, probably because they thought that we were fucked, but after we started winning battles, the Empress of Lombardy has decided to send men. Oh boy. Careful here. Why are you outraged? Oh, they want the rest of Africa. Unbelievable. Send a diplomat, for what it's worth. We need allies. If we ever got out of war, we could actually ally the US and a few other people. It's ridiculous. Pirate, oh. Okay, that is our bad. We did pirate them, to be fair. Yeah, okay, we did do that. All right, that may have been our fuck up. God damn it. They're not wrong. We did pirate them. So let's go ahead and stop doing that. All right, that one's on me. That one's on me. We did a little bit of pirate trolling. Fuck. Lombardy, no. Okay, it's a small force here. Local militias. No, we are not going to support militias. Oh, we can't lose 20,000 men. God damn it, we're going to take the professionalism hit. Lombardy, you need to chill. Steady boys, discipline bonus, big. We're going in. All right, I'm following you. Oh, they're just gonna... What? Jesus. Lombardy just stat wiped that whole army. We're just gonna let Lombardy cook, you know? If they can win these battles, you know, that's fine. Whoa, boy. Whoa. Thank you for the raid, Arumba. Oh my gosh, thank you for that. Appreciate that, dude. That's wild. I've been watching you since I was a kid. I'm gonna be honest, I learned EU4 from you when I was in high school. Thank you for the raid, man, I appreciate that. What's up, guys? I'm Hammurabae. I am a roleplay streamer primarily. I do a lot of different stuff. We are in a very brutal war that we are somehow winning. This is a grand campaign as House Torres of Sardinia. We've gone all the way for CK3. We're doing slave translators to go all the way to Stellaris. So after this, it'll be Victoria 3, Hoi 4, and then Stellaris. It has been incredibly brutal the last couple hundred years. We lost our empire. We've had our dynasty completely lose in Europe to our cousins in Castalla. We had a colonial empire in the Americas that we've completely lost now. It's been tough, but we have our golden age and we are coming back. We got declared war on by Yorubaland in the south. With 500,000 men, we only have 70,000, and somehow we've actually managed to win every battle so far. It's been pretty crazy. Appreciate the raid again. Yeah, so the world is very interesting. It's developed a lot. I'll give the rundown. It's a grand campaign, obviously, so things are dramatically different already. Started in 1066, so up until that start date, it was everything historically, but since then, it's gotten pretty crazy. Some of the really big things, as I'm sure you can already see here, for example, are that the Mongols in this timeline not only conquered all the Middle East, they actually destroyed Byzantium. They got all the way up to Vienna before Genghis Khan died and they fell. There were two successor kingdoms afterwards, the old school Mongols in the east, and then the Chagatai, who started very weak, converted to Islam, but have grown to be absolutely dominant. They also invaded the Ming, and they have established a new dynasty in China, which is Sunni. Japan was in a cold civil war for a long time between two factions, the Usugai and the Hosokawa. We are longtime rivals of the Hosokawa and have fought them many times. We ended up allying the Usugai, supporting them, and now they've managed to form Japan, who we've been allies with. Our current king, Solomon IV, is a bold fighter, industrialist, very capable. We sent him, again, this is roleplay, so we got that event where we could have him go steady with a foreign power. he went to Japan and he got a naval education there for around 5 years. So we're very close with Japan. In Europe, it has been absolutely crazy. Now, Castalla was actually established by our dynasty. They've been the biggest pain in the ass for us the whole of EU4. We established them as a crusader state in CK3, when in a crusade we formed the Kingdom of Andalusia, and through our ancestors' own strength, we're the ones to form it and put a member of our dynasty on the throne. They were very weak and allied to us for a long period, but we did have a break in CK3 and became enemies, and they have managed to take all our land. We basically had the lands of Aragon and base EU4. We lost all that to Castalla. We had all of North Africa and Cordoba. We lost that to Castalla. When we had the Balearic Islands, and we also lost that to Castalla. So our distant cousins, the Torshitara Guadiata family, is a cadet branch, and there's been a bit of a reconciliation in recent times, but not too much. Britain formed very early on. The HRE is still around and was very divided until recent times. So what happened is Bavarian, the Save translator, actually managed to get the Prussian ideas. I don't know how it happened, but they have the Prussian idea group in EU4, and they have grown to be monstrous in the last 100 years, after which there was a revolution in Bavaria where they have gone revolutionary. Around 5 years ago, it also spread to Byzantium. So 2 of the greatest states of Europe have fallen to revolutionary zeal. A consul ruling in Byzantium, and then a chairman ruling in Bavaria. When Bavaria formed, Britain, France, and Castalla and us formed a coalition to fight them, and we all lost. Utterly and completely, all of us. We got destroyed, so yeah, the revolution has spread quite a lot, as you can see here. We had a lot of rebels of our own for a time, but we managed to put down the revolution. The Papal States have also been very strong for most of their history. In CK3, we were very close with the Pope, good friends. A couple of our kings actually had a bunch of those fishing events with them, so we were very close. In EU4, they betrayed us in a war with Castalla, actually, and chose to become rivals. We fought them for a couple hundred more years, until recently, where they have almost now completely fallen due to the Byzantines conquering back in Italy, and then we took advantage of that to take Sicily too. During the early period, we colonized a bunch. We actually had large regions of South America and the western coast of the Americas. The other major colonizers at that time were actually the Hosokawa and the Usagai. So the Japanese colonized most of the western portion of the Americas and had all this. Unfortunately, Castalla is an absolute superpower and managed to take them back. It's been pretty crazy. We lost our colonies in South America to various powers, primarily being Takrur, which is a super state in Africa that is no more, really. They were conquered by Yorubaland, as well as Byzantium and Castalla. There's a pirate nation of basically pseudo-communists as well, who are very strong. They have the strongest fleet in the game, who we were allied and worked with a little bit, not anymore. And then during the recent wars, when revolutionary Bavaria formed, France ended up getting betrayed. Britain was the first to piece out of that coalition war, and they took the opportunity to attack France. So France has really been taken down a few pegs recently, and they're in bad shape. Their colony was the 13 colonies. So Florida, which was their colony, was very strong, but during those wars they rebelled, and we now have the United States, who is a, let's see if it still is that. Yes, it's a French monarchy. So culturally they're French. This is a French-American timeline here. Quebecois, and then some French culture in there as well. So yeah, this timeline has a French-American monarchy. Their old king just died, and they'd make a naturally good ally for us. We've just been stuck in wars for so long, we can't even get the chance to make more allies. It's been kind of crazy. Canada was colonized by Norway, who's one of the big colonial powers. They conquered a Viking kingdom that was actually left over in Vinland at the start of the game and converted them, but they've lost a lot of it now to various different groups, Sweden and a few others as well. What else? There's been so much. I'm trying to get the big points here. Our current allies are Japan, as well as Lombardy, who we've kind of have an off and on relationship, actually since CK3. Hundreds of years of history, both very good and very bad. The first time we fought the Papal States was on their behalf, actually, in CK3. Oh boy, what else do we have going on? Our old and greatest ally was Ruthenia, which is basically Ukraine. They even have the symbol. They protected and fought with us for 200 years, and were the only reason we're probably still existing. We tried our best to save them around 100 years ago, but they were partitioned by a coalition, and then Byzantium, and then Lithuania, and they're gone now, unfortunately. They were a great power in the east that we worked with. There's also been a history, really, the whole campaign, which was that anytime we ally with someone, they tend to fall very quickly. It's been a reoccurring theme at least half a dozen times where nations we're role-playing into being allies, which are very strong, will start to decline and fall as soon as we work with them. Almost a bit of a family curse. The Fatmans obviously control Egypt, very strong. Very centralized African states, Yorubaland, Somalia, the Congo. Britain has South Africa, and Egypt has a little bit too. And then the Papal States have the colony of Argentina, which used to be ours long ago, before we lost it. Obviously, given it's a grand campaign, it's a much more developed Far East too. So, for example, if you look at the dev map, you will see it is way more developed typically than an EU4, because when I converted from CK3 to EU4, I changed around some settings to make it interesting. The Ming also colonized, and they've been so far ahead in tech, it's been pretty crazy. So super states in India, super states in China. The Ming was very strong before they fell around 100 years ago. They are completely gone now. They are still live technically. The Chinese Empire does still exist. They established a colony in Indonesia called Bona. I'm probably saying that wrong. And after the fall of mainland China, the ex-colony of the Ming in Indonesia declared themselves the new Chinese Empire. So even in the game mechanics, they're actually still the Empire of China. All that remains is now in Indonesia. Polis is also very strong, but they've lost a lot of recent wars to the Chagatai. And I think those are the really big points. Our family is House Torres. I've got a whole series on YouTube if you'd like to watch it. I've got the really nicely edited episodes on my main channel and then all the VODs. This has already been going for around a year. I started last August. I took a break till January and I've been going really consistently ever since. So this is, as I said, primarily roleplay. So I try and make all the decisions based on realism, looking at like the traits of our leaders in CK3 and EU4, try and make realistic decisions based on, you know, who's kind of in power with the estates, kind of use whatever components of these, you know, different Paradox games are there to try and make more of a story, make more realism. I've made a lot of bad decisions on purpose because it made sense that has resulted in us being a lot weaker than we would have been. So it's more or less the story of House Torres. I need to save edit it. We had a glitch. Who were originally the Judikes of Sardinia. We started off in CK3 in Lagudoro, which is a little province right here in northern Sardinia, one of the weaker Judikes, who were like the ex-Byzantine rulers of Sardinia in the beginning of the 1066 start date in CK3. We started off really simply, just as like a Judike, and over time slowly grew, formed obviously the Kingdom of Sardinia, which we've been ever since. House Torres was founded originally by Andrea Torres, which was again in 1066. It was a long time ago. And we've had a lot of very brutal kings ever since. Originally, Andrea was our founder, and he was a very good man. He used diplomacy and a lot of really just personal charisma to make Lagudoro survive. But ever since then, there's been a history of just constant insanity in CK3 for all the kings of Sardinia and queens. Lots of alcoholism and a lot of evil rulers. We've had a couple very good ones every once in a while, but I think almost every good ruler we had in CK3 actually went mad, I'm pretty sure. So our house is pretty tortured and gone down a very dark path. Briefly, Sardinia was also ruled. Let me get the music back real quick. I know this is a lot, but it's a very long campaign already, and we're not even out of EU4 so far. Let's see, where was I? Lost my train of thought there. There's so much. Yeah, so briefly, we did also lose the monarchy. Now, like I said, I've been doing RP, so I'm trying to role-playing out the government reforms in line with that. For a brief period around 150 years ago, the kings were actually not per se overthrown, but I took that one government reform where you had the fight between the statist and the monarchist. And what that was in the roleplay was that the burghers more or less seized power in the government due to a couple really weak kings and queens, as well as some very early deaths for some of our monarchs. So around a 100-year period, we actually had a pretty radical government. They would have been, the comparison I used was like the Cromwellian government in England historically, where there's the period where the monarchists were pushed out and a much more like sort of modern, progressive government came into power. The difference being the royal family wasn't executed. It was just that the statists established a constitution. So we were one of the first really liberal modern states in Europe. That lasted around 100 years. Primarily that's because the kings had just been failing all these wars with Castalla and our enemies, and they had promised to do a much better job of governance, which over 100 years, they really failed to do. A couple good chancellors, but eventually during our last great war with Castalla, when we actually, for the first time in EU4, and I think it's CK3, managed to fight them to a standstill. We brought back the monarchy in a coup where the chancellor was arrested and the burghers were pushed out of government, restoring the monarchy under Ambrosio I, who is Solomon's father, who died during our other war of Castalla. There's been, I'd say, at least 8 or 9 wars with the Spanish. And again, we're related, so it's basically a family feud at this point. And Solomon has proven to be absolutely fantastic. Bold fighter, industrialist, very capable administrator and military mind. Very good education. I've got a lot of mods on, and he's currently in power. So we just fired the golden age because we actually managed to win some wars and come back. It's been pretty crazy. It's been a wild campaign. As I said, we're, I think, around 11 months in, besides the 4 months I took off. And we got a long ways to go. So yeah, I think I covered everything. See if I'm missing anything. There's a lot of little things, but in terms of broad strokes, there we go. Yeah, liberal alcoholics. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They've drunk themselves into an early grave so many times, especially in CK3. Just ridiculous. So, our major rivals right now, go over that real quick, is the Papal States, the Dutch, who we've been feuding with, and then we have an open slot, which we cannot do right now because we've been at war perpetually. I'd say for probably 60 years, maybe 70. It's been a long time. So, yeah, been wild. Been a wild ride already. All right. No other major things missing? I think so. Yeah, oh yeah, perpetual war. And not of our own choosing too. Every time in EU4, we've gotten even a speck of power. We've managed to stabilize. We've got a good king. We've rebuilt ourselves. We developed our economy. Every time something bad happens, it's just kind of insane, actually, how often it's gone that way. We are in the most strong, stable period we've been in the whole period of EU4 right now. But we just had 3 really bad things happen. We got declared war on by Yorubaland, who declared a war under Emperor Nwabugwu. I'm saying that wrong. Byzantium just went revolutionary. And Castalla, who we actually just had our first reconciliation with a royal marriage, our queen consort is from their dynasty, has gone hostile to us because they've decided that they want Northern Africa now. So 3 absolutely horrible things, unfortunately, when we're really in a good period here again. So yeah, it's brutal. EU4 has been rough. EU4 is probably my worst game in Paradox. Like, I'm fairly good, I'd say, at CK3. I'm fairly competent at Vicky 3 and Hoi 4, and I'm fairly competent at Stellaris. I used to be very good at EU4. I bought EU4 on launch. I played it obsessively in high school and early college. I have almost 3,000 hours in it, but all of that was in early EU4. So now coming back to it and playing it a bit more, it's a very different game. So there's been a skill issue here too, for sure. All right. Story of House Torres and the Kingdom of Sardinia over. We are locked in the war. Just a little recap of the war so far. They declared. We scrambled to get our forces together. We got everyone into the Northern African region here. And through some very careful maneuvering, we managed to stack wipe. What are we at? Like 300,000 men so far? Yeah, it's been crazy. Almost all of our men have been lost in just battles and attrition, just maneuvering around North Africa. And we have absolutely slaughtered their armies. They still have so many men, so much manpower, and we're down to our last 40,000 men too. Thankfully, Lombardy is actually sending some men in here. So I think we actually may retreat a little bit and see if we can recover a bit. Rookie numbers. Yeah, I bet you've got a lot of hours at this point. My gosh. I think Hoi 4 did actually pass my total hour count. My combined Hoi Paradox game hours are well over 10,000. I know that. It's a lot. Let me see. Yeah, 3,000 hours in Hoi 4 and then 1,600 in EU4. 1,600 in Stellaris. It's not a problem. I just really like strategy games. So I'm gonna keep telling myself. All right. Back to the war. We have a very strong fleet too. I took both maritime ideas and naval ideas, so we're very strong. Our fleet can take on really anyone in the world at this point besides probably Cuba. The pirates are very strong. Cultural hegemony in Bosnia. You have 1,300 hours in Hoi 4. Nice, what the? Oh, Wolf of Wall Street. Gotta pump those numbers up. Rookie numbers. stability drop. Okay, the king didn't die, thank goodness. Not sure why we got that stability drop, but that's fine. The Navy, the Admiralty also has a lot of power. Okay, hold on, I gotta focus up here. The Admiralty is also fully in power. They basically took power during the death of Ambrosio I, our king's father, when there was a regency, a very weak queen, and we had to negotiate peace deals with a bunch of European powers. Roleplay-wise, the Admiralty, which is really the last trusted entity in Sardinia. I wouldn't say could, they didn't seize power, but they've got a lot of influence now as well. Like the production in Sassari. All right. Thankfully, Lombardy has actually finally sent their men with Switzerland here, so we will have reinforcements. We're going to bring up all our troops, and then we're going to see if we can outmaneuver them here and split their armies a bit. Not as many as before. They are holding back a little bit, I think. Got that manufacturing Cagliari. Also, we have been industrializing really early. We got a bunch of like the atmospheric event in Cagliari because of the coal, and then a steam engine too, I think. This campaign sounds really awesome, Hammurabae. If it's all right with you and your streaming, when I end my streams, I'll keep sending people your way. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you liked the campaign. Have you ever actually done a grand campaign? I'm curious. They are so fun to do. But to be fair, you have to go through all the different Paradox games, so not everyone's willing to do it. Yeah, Roomba is fantastic. Again, I learned EU4 from you way back in the day, long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah, in like my high school era in college, early college, I watched a lot of your YouTube videos, and then I watched a lot of DDR Drake way back in the day before he went to work for Paradox. Early EU4 days. You tried, and then I won in the first game. Yeah, do you go for the world conquest then? Yeah, if you don't pace yourself and you're really good at any of the games, it's very easy to just get so powerful. You gotta, in my mind, to make a grand campaign fun, you have to allow yourself to, you know, take some losses, or you're just so powerful. It's hard to do a grand campaign when you can conquer the whole map in CK2. That's true. Yeah. It's pretty easy to do it if you want. Also, thank you for everyone who followed. There were a lot. Normally I read out names, but there are so many. Thank you everyone who followed. I appreciate it. All right. We're gonna do some more maneuvering here. We're gonna try and split their army before. That's how we managed to beat them the first time. Let's be very careful. I'm gonna get on forced march, and we're gonna try and maneuver. If Lombardy can knock out that army, actually, we're... Oh, damn. They're gonna lose this, aren't they? Let's at least try and make that. I don't think we'll get there in time. Oh, losing. Come on, come on. Nope. If we can get there on the 17th of October, we can split their army here. This is dangerous. Oh, we might get this. I'm going for it. Let's time this right. Come on! Got there? Get there? Come on, reinforcements. Well, yeah, we're gonna get it. Huge. Oh, the maneuver. We did not stack wipe, though. They are going to get the retreat there. If Lombardy can get more men up here, we could probably beat their siege of Biserta. That was big, though. Lombardy's going to take the fight down there. Let's wait for that other army. They're coming with 60,000 men. That's when we hit Biserta. Oh, boy. Dude, these big wars, they give me adrenaline. It's just, there's so much at stake every time we fight one of these existential wars. They're going for it. All right. Here we go. Come on. Reinforcements. Oh, yes, we're going to get it, I think. Yep. All right, we pushed them out of North Africa again successfully. We really have to watch our manpower here, so I'm just going to wait. We're just going to keep letting them come to us, and we'll let Lombardy do the work. They still have a lot of men left here. We've helped them in a couple of their wars recently, I think, too, so they definitely owe us one. You love world conquest? It's boring. I agree. I think at least just having a casual playstyle at the least, more rebels in Asia, gosh, is one of the better ways to play just for long-term enjoyment. I mean, speedrunning and world conquests are fun now and then for what they are, but it does make it a little harder to enjoy long-term. That's why I respect your ability to roleplay. I've tried that, but your min-max tendencies, it's really hard to break those habits. It really is. I mean, because for a lot of the time I've always played Paradox, I did the same thing, you know, whether due to skill issues and needing to, or just like naturally playing that way, just utter conquests and map painting and min-maxing. It's something I think in Paradox games, most people just naturally get acclimatized to because you have to, right? I mean, when you're learning games, especially EU4 with how brutal the AI is now, at least for a player of my skill level, or, you know, in Hoi 4 or something like that, you're almost forced to learn the min-max strategies just to survive and make the game playable. And then by the time you have the skill level to not need to do that, they're so just ingrained in your head, it takes a lot of almost cognitive dissonance to really stop yourself. We do have to go deal with those rebels over in the west. Let's send the army over there again. I do not like that manpower, though. They made CK3 too easy to accommodating new players. I think they definitely made the accessibility better Eclipse. I mean, one of the big goals I know Paradox has been working on lately is to make their games more accessible, which is very warranted. Many of them are intimidating and hard to learn, but I think the difficulty level could use a bit more. But they're kind of building CK3 to be more of like an RPG, more of a role-playing style game, so it's kind of, I'm sure, hard to find a balance between difficulty and more role-playing and casual style of playing. All right, send them in here. Is there any way not to get that river crossing? Anywhere we're not, basically. We'll just send them in first and then reinforce right after. Oh, they did get it, though. My gosh, Lombardy's pushing them back in the pass. They have helped us out so many times too. I mean, we've had our on and off periods with Lombardy. We've fought them. We've been rivals with them even at one point, but when we work together, it really is so nice. They actually have a different royal family than the last time we were allied with them. They've got the Obertangi royal family, which is, I believe, from Britain. Yes. And they're actually a real historical dynasty. The Obertangi royal family is an offshoot historically of the Medicis. Also, speaking of dynasties, oh, they lost it. Oh, yeah. So Byzantium, prior to the revolution, had a really interesting dynasty. I do want to talk about this for a second because it's really cool as well. Byzantium was conquered in CK3 by the Mongols and destroyed. When the Mongol Empire collapsed, the Ilkhanate ruled over Iran, the Upper Levant, and then Byzantium, the old region of Byzantium, for I think around 20 years before it collapsed too. So for really around, I think, the last 100 years of CK3 and the first 50 to 100 years or so of EU4, there were like 10 different states in both Anatolia, Greece, and then Bulgaria, the successor states of Byzantium, still a Greek culture. Interestingly enough, though, which we didn't figure out until later, the dynasty that ruled the Anatolikon nation, which later would reunite Byzantium and reform them, which happened around 150 years ago, they were actually the descendants of Genghis Khan. So during the Greek Warring States period in the Grand Campaign, it was actually the descendants of Genghis Khan who had adopted the Orthodox faith and Greek culture who managed to win the Warring States period, reunite Byzantium, and ruled there until around 10 years ago when their dynasty was ousted and the revolutionary government took power. So there's no longer an heir to Genghis Khan on the throne of Byzantium due to the radical revolutionary movements which are sweeping through Europe right now. Right. Go. A merchant family from Tunisia has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with Castales, California by successfully establishing themselves in both. Chiricahua, oh my gosh, and the Castellan, California hinterlands. They have come to be very influential in both our societies and very rich. This is a situation we could probably make use of. We'll take the trade power. Anything that gets us back in the good graces of Castalla right now is what we want to do. Again, so much was done to reconcile with them in recent years, but they're wanting a North Africa is just going to be so hard to maneuver around. Let's move back along the coastline and just wait this out and see if we can get some more manpower built up here. E4 is really intimidating even as a Hoi4 and CK3 player. I'd say so. In my opinion, I think EU4 is actually the hardest Paradox game, honestly. I mean, there's mods in the other games that will make them very difficult, but base EU4 at this point is, I think, very hard. It's very tough for new players, I'm sure, to get into. I mean, the reason I didn't play a lot of it until very recently again was also the same reason. I hadn't played it in years consistently, and I was fairly intimidated by it. It's a very fun game, but there's so many mechanics you have to understand. The AI are so aggressive and strong. It is very tough to get a handle on. I know, our prestige is so bad. We had a couple really negative events, I think with Castalla relating to it, where instead of getting them angry at us, we took the prestige hits, so it's very rough. They gutted it of so many good events. You mean from CK2, right? Yeah, definitely. My favorite event from CK2, which I'm really sad they did not include, was, do you remember that event, like the chess game of death? It was that really rare one where you could actually become immortal, where you got that event where like a character would show up in your court and offer to play a game of chess with you, and it was death, and you could get immortality from it in the event chain. And then there was that ever cool one where you had like the wise woman show up from like an obscure region of the world, and you could what was it? You had to do a bunch of rituals with her and you could become immortal as well. Those were really fun. I missed those. It was hit and miss, that's true. But when it went right in your campaign and it fit the moment and you actually didn't die randomly, it was really fun. I at least thought so. Once people see the way some of the upcoming strategy games handled the stuff that CK3 dropped the ball on, Paradox is going to be in trouble. I hope so. There's some really interesting good strategy games coming out in the future. I'll stop here because we really have to pay attention. There is the, what are they called? Something Horse Publisher that's been putting out a bunch of really good games. Manor Lords is coming out pretty soon, which I think is kind of comparable to CK3 in some ways. It's a bit more of like a management game, but there's a lot of similarities, and it looks like they're going to have a lot more features. And then Espocracy, I think that's what it's called. Epocracy. It's the Cold War game where you play the spy agencies. I think that's going to really change the game too. There's a lot of really interesting strategy games coming out in the next couple years that I think will really start to challenge Paradox's moat around strategy games, which will be interesting. Hopefully it just means that it'll breed innovation and Paradox will, you know, step up their game on quality, but tough to say. Hoi 4 is the hardest. I still haven't learned it. Frost, it is rough to learn to get a hang of to start off with, like a lot of the games, similar to Stellaris really. But once you know how to build division templates, once you know how to deal with supply, once you know how to build your economy, it's very manageable. EU4 in my mind is the hardest because even when you learn the game really well, including a lot of the min-max strategies, you'll still have, I think, a fair degree of trouble even with the AI, let alone in like multiplayer games, right? So that's why I kind of see them as a little bit different. Hoi 4 is like, I clicked the wrong mouse button one time and now my Iron Man run is over. It's very unforgiving. EU4 is much more forgiving due to the fact that you can come back from things a bit more. You won't just get annexed wholesale like you do in Hoi 4, for example, which is brutal. You never got the Immortal trait in CK2. It is very tough to get. It's very low chance. I got it, I think, twice. And I played a lot of CK2. Well over 1,000 hours. Espiocracy is the one, yes. It's pretty limited, but certainly ahead of Intrigue and Paradox games. Dominion, I think it's interesting because it's going to make a lot of other games think more about intelligence and intelligence services and how they can really add a lot to games. And if we see the features that it's putting on launch expanded more, either with, you know, updates or downloadable content, I think it could be a very good game similar to Manor Lords. I've got my eye on both of those. But we'll see. It's tough to tell. There's only so much they've actually showed of that game so far, but I do like what I've seen. And yeah, Bloodlines 2 is going to be good. Looking forward to that. Your Marshal Cyrus Safaso has put forward a plan of experimentation with new military technology inspired by a supposedly brilliant inventor and engineer that he had recently befriended. All that is needed is a little funding. We have plenty of gold in our treasury left over from the recent economic boom that we've been having and those events that we got. And given we have a very industrious king, we would absolutely do that. Oh, our manpower is brutal. I'm trying to think about how to play this here. Set music a bit better. We have to go fight that war in Indonesia too. We've been at war with Oman and what are they called? Paying for so long now. We need to finish that war. There's only so much we can really get from Yoruba land that would be very useful, I think, right? Let's look at the diplo map. What do they have? They don't have colonies. I don't think. No, they don't. Taking those northern African provinces, I think we'll take in the peace deal, and maybe just a bunch of gold from them, honestly. Let me look at like what we actually want to shoot for in this deal. Because you got to remember, I mean, our king is a very capable mind. He's a very aggressive. He's willing to take the fight, but he's very intelligent too in terms of administration and military policy, and especially given obviously the power of the admiralty in our government. I mean, the Navy's not really that involved in this war. They wouldn't see Yoruba land as very that valuable in terms of naval or economic strategic value. And given they, despite recent successes of our land military, would have a lot of dominance in our government, I don't think they'd, or our king would really be looking to push a longer war of Yorubaland for larger gains. I think we'd probably be looking to get a nice peace deal with them, with nice concessions, and then make our way back to Asia, where we're trying to rebuild our colonial empire, which is obviously the interest of our king, given his naval education, his upbringing, and his time studying in Japan, as well as the Admiralty's interest there, and the rebels. So let's look at what we could get in this peace deal. Couldn't get it even if we wanted to. We gotta get that fort. Neither would breaking them up be particularly useful for us, honestly. Let's just take a ton of gold from them, honestly. We'll take the Northern African region, which is of strategic value to us, including Fez. We'll put a fort there, and we'll be able to block their passage north in the future from one of our routes. And then we will take gold for everything else we can get off of them. I think that's the plan here. And let's just wait. We got to recover our manpower. We'll watch these armies and send troops if we really need to, but let's let Lombardy do the work if we can deal with it. They know we're in real trouble in terms of manpower. And given we have a pretty good relationship with them, they'd be, I think, very willing to take the fight here. Well, let's back up the Swiss if they need it, though. Got to be a little careful. Anyone else looking forward to the next stable Ambinar release that adds non-African regions? How far out is that, Piran? I haven't played Ambinar since that roleplay multiplayer game I did, probably 3 months ago or so. Or is it longer? It was a while ago. I do need to play more Ambinar. It's such a good mod. They're still working on the Vicky 3 mod, right? And the CK3 one? I haven't checked that in a long time. I was really looking forward to those. How do you think the Vic 3 conversion will go? Orion, I'm really not sure at this point. I mean, so much can happen. We've only got 80 years left, but so much can happen, especially with the revolutionary movement. I have no idea, honestly. I'll be curious to see how they do the factory counts. No, just a royal marriage. We'd begun to reconcile with them after generations of hatred with a royal marriage done by King Solomon, but we've kind of had a breakdown in relations again, so we did pirate them. That we did do. We've been very brutal with the Sevilla trade node. So that did cause a really big breakdown in relations. I'm sure Solomon had a very big falling out with his wife. Right, we may want to take this. We can't lose this fort here. Another big decisive battle here. All right, here comes Lombardy. If we get this battle, if we get that fort, yeah, we have it. I think we can take the piece here. Let's take it. Very careful here. We go. Gonna get it. And they're retreating back into Africa. I think this war is about over. Let's bring them to the table. No, really? Occupying any of the forts convicted to do it via land. What are we missing in terms of a fort? Do we need to go all the way down to air? Oh, that would be brutal. We really do need that choke point, though, for strategic defense against them. I mean, they're obviously now very hostile to us. We know that. We can't really leave this war until we've secured at least one of the routes into our territory, North Africa. This is tough. This is the Age of Empires 4 soundtrack, quadruple. It is so good. Any true threat without occupying any of the areas around it. So I guess we're gonna have to go all the way into air. How many soldiers do they have left? A lot. They're out of manpower almost, but so are we. What would our king do at a time like this? What would the Admiralty? The Admiralty would be advising that we frankly probably end this war in peace, probably take the gold and go to Asia. But our king is not the type to walk away from something that gets started. Be so costly in our manpower, and if we get declared on by Byzantium or Castella, we'd be in such bad shape here. The pirates are still very alive, Frost. They are Pirate King Cathaso. They still have their absolutely gigantic fleet as well. This is a tough call. All right, I'm gonna put up a poll. Everyone watching, you are now members of the Naval High Command, the Admiralty of Sardinia, advising the king on whether or not to pursue deeper into the hinterlands of Yorubaland to take a bigger piece and territorial concessions to secure the pass in Fezzan, or whether to take economic concessions and take our war to Indonesia. Poll is up. Wait a quick minute here. I also need to have a think about what we need to do in Asia right now. So we've been in this war for how many years? It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, 21 years. We've technically been at war with them. We still have Oman's... no, they took back their territories there. We can finish the war by landing and taking Oman's land. We'll take the rest of Paing's land in the Indonesian archipelago. They still have 100,000 soldiers left, so we'll actually have to send most of our army, meaning we really need that manpower right now. Oman has a lot of men left too. Japan is Shinto. What's up, Dolphin? Japan is Shinto. Tengri is almost gone, the last bastion here. The Mongols converted to Orthodox in CK3-2. And then the Chagatai are Sunni, obviously, so... Confucianism is still only left alive in Korea, besides, obviously, the Chinese Empire of Bona. When we're done with that, we obviously need to secure more colonial lands. I mean, after all the lands that we've lost in the Americas, we need to move quickly while Europe is busy with the revolution. That's an existential threat, but we can't really fight it. Our king would know that. We could fight a war with the Hosokawa, potentially. They only have Kutai left allied with them. Oh, they only have Kutai left as an ally. They have been our rivals for over 100 years. We pushed them out of Western America before we lost it. We pushed them out of California, we pushed them out of Mexico, and we pushed them out of Chile before we lost everything. This is a very opportune chance to end another of our rivals. We are really settling scores this weekend, aren't we? My gosh. Go south, all right. Despite the better judgment of the Admiralty, King Solomon has decided to march south and secure the corridor with our new rival in the hinterlands of Africa. They have a lot of men left, and we don't have much manpower. This is risky. We gotta hope Lombardy stays in. Yeah, they're bringing soldiers up again. Is Lombardy retreating? Oh, no. Well, they're not. We're fine. Let's wait for them to push out again. Let's recover some more manpower. Oh, we're losing so much of it. And then let's hit these armies again. Oh, this is risky, though. Let them take the sieges. Let them get confident. Let's get behind our fort line. We should have a fort in... Yes, we have built a fort in Biskra now, too. That's big. We'll wait behind the fort line, and then we're going to try and do what we did before. Divide and conquer here. They try and take that siege of Biserta again. Watch as Lombardy just goes straight in. Let's go. You have to go deeper. No, they're all following this time. We might not be able to split them. Here comes Lombardy, though. The third battle of Biserta? We might get it. Oh my god, they're bringing more men. That's around 200,000 right there. Here comes Lombardy. Hit them, come on. Oh, no, we can't get there in time. That would have been big. We've got those reinforcements, though. Sometimes the EU4 battles really kind of do feel like chess, don't they? Big. Those are the allies, or the vassal of Yorubaland. We're gonna knock them out. No more allies, or no more reinforcements for them at least. We're just bleeding manpower so badly here. I think our mercenaries are out of manpower too. That's the place for it. Lombardy's going. We're going all in here. All right, the Battle of Susa. Another very definitive battle here. Let's go. They're all inning. Come on, get the reinforcements. Good roll. We got it. Oh, we got it. Huge. Let's take the last of them there. It's mountains, but I think we win this. We do? Maybe. Come on. We'll read that in a minute. We are gonna get this. Overwhelming odds in the mountains. Oh my gosh. Dude, these big EU4 games, they actually give me, or big EU4 wars in the mega campaign actually give me adrenaline. It's kind of crazy. Trumpets of Doom. You receive a report at the outcome of the military experiments of your marshal asked you to sponsor a little while back. Apparently, experiments consisted of training a large force of musicians to blow their trumpets in unison, thus deafening and stunning the enemy army in preparation for an attack. Attempts were also made to make castle walls tumble by marching around them blowing the trumpets. Someone's been reading a lot of Christian history. Unfortunately, while quite expensive, none of these experiments were successful. Someone needs to get demoted for that, I think. Well, you know, it was our land officer corps. The Admiralty would never do something like that. We're not on mainland Japan, no. I don't plan to take any either. They're more our allies. As a person that has never done a grand campaign and you use extra mods, or is it recommended not to? No, I really recommend you use extra mods. I've got a mod list for EU4 and CK3 if you'd like it. That is really good. I've used those. You have to be careful. Some mods will mess up the save translator, so you have to be very careful. I have like a half-complete YouTube video I've been making on like basically how to do mega campaigns and how to do mods and stuff. But you can get away with quite a few, actually. Anything that doesn't dramatically change culture and religion in CK3 is normally fine. Anything in EU4 that doesn't dramatically change trade goods too much should be good for Vicky 3. And then obviously you can do whatever you want in Hoi 4, because after that you go to Stellaris. Some people don't go to Stellaris, but if you go to Stellaris, you just get to set it up yourself. So I recommend doing it with mods. It's a lot more fun. What's a Betelmeyer? Early predecessors to 40k Noise Marines. True. Could be. Untrustworthy assistance. You see news of your marshal's activities in Cesare. Okay, who the hell is our marshal? He's been doing a lot of questionable things lately. It appears he has been spreading ill words about your rule, encouraging disloyalty amongst the peasantry. It's because we cut off his funding for his failed experiments. That's why this is happening. We're gonna fire him. He was capable too. That was our discipline advisor. Crap, not the time. We'll take Arnie Ludovici, artillery commander. The revolutions. The Corsican Constitution. Inspired by Enlightenment thinkers, Pasquale Paoli drafted a constitution for independent Republic of Corsica in 1755. Sponsored by Great Britain. Of course. Paoli not only managed to drive the Genoese off the line, actually this is historic I think, but also reorganized the government into a functioning state complete with a university and its own mint. Although the Republic would fall to France in 1769, it is historic, Paoli's reforms advanced the island significantly and international recognition of the Corsican people as a distinct culture. That is really cool, but very inopportune. 30,000 revolutionaries in Corsica, and we'll go on the RP that they were also supported and funded by Great Britain. We, as usual, do not have a very good relationship with them. We also did pirate them, to be fair. You know, a lot of EU4 has not been our fault. Our recent diplomatic struggles have been our fault, because we've been working with the pirates in roleplay and in events, and then we've been pirating, so. Oh boy. All right, well, we're gonna need to get some men back to, of course, we gotta deal with those rebels. Where's our transport fleet? Yeah, they can't even get out of port. Our fleet is just too strong for them. We'll let Lombardy do their work here while we dispatch these revolutionaries. It appears that the influences of mainland Europe are becoming even stronger in the whole mile. We already did put down revolutionaries in Cesare, if you remember earlier today. Yeah, they're not really here anymore. We still have some revolutionary support in the recently conquered areas of Sicily. We'll not take those. I'll do some development when we get that maxed. Honestly, these games are more fun with non-historical maps. They definitely get very interesting, especially if you know the history. Like, for example, I struggle to enjoy, and I do watch a fair number of them, like time lapses on YouTube. Like, there's some grand campaign time lapses on YouTube. They're interesting to see what happens, but they're so much less fulfilling than actually playing it out yourself, you know, slowly, because you know the whole history, you know everything that's going on. Like, I mean, when I look at this map, I mean, if, for example, someone had just joined with a raid, you may look at the map and barely know what's going on. But if you followed it the whole time, either played it yourself or watched it, and you know the whole history of everything that's happened and kind of had, you know, a bit of a narrative in your head, it's so good because there's just so much more depth and lore to it. Which is why I really like grand campaigns, amongst so many reasons. Welcome back, Russia. I do have expanded trade goods. It will not mess with the save converter, I think. It didn't cause problems when I tested it. I don't advise using that one though, because that is a little sketchy. All right, we're engaging the rebels in Corsica, seeking to establish a Republic independent Corsica, which they will not succeed in. Do remember, we are an absolute ancient regime monarchy, 57 absolutism, so we're tolerant, we're liberal, but we are very tyrannical. They're not mutually exclusive, especially in these times. behind their back. That manpower. Ooh, that I'll keep clicking on it. It's like map porn as opposed to narrative RP. That's true. Yeah, I mean, watching the maps of the Grand Campaign on, you know, time lapses are really cool, but very different styles, very different feelings. I don't like how many of those time lapses include Imperator. I just skip Imperator personally. All right, Lombardy is going south. No, they're gonna come back and support us. We really need to go deeper though. That's the problem here. So I don't think we can take anything if we, nope, never mind. Lombardy, oh, come on. Lombardy, please. We've got it. We've got it in North Africa. Just focus down here. Oh, God. Gosh darn it. All right. If we knock out this army, I hope they go back. We just don't have the manpower to go down there and siege right now. We don't. It's all on Lombardy. Invictus is fun. Yeah, the mod fort. Modding made it way better. They also have started to give it a little bit more support, which is very nice. I tried Invictus for a very short period, Quadruple. I played a little bit of it. I do like it. It's way better. It is quite enjoyable. I just really didn't like how Paradox kind of charged all that money and abandoned the project. That's what really rubbed me the wrong way. So it's kind of tough to enjoy even now after modders. I mean, modders obviously, they do their work purely out of love, so it's a lot different, but still. I want some sort of tribal simulator that could work as a starting of a Bronze Age precursor. That'd be really interesting, Orion. I mean, there's like that one game, what's it called, like, Humankind, doesn't that start in the Bronze Age? It's very different, obviously, though. We can't let them take the siege, so we gotta go here. Another big battle. 82,000 men. Oh, we got lucky there. They didn't take it. Reinforcements from Lombardy and Switzerland. We're gonna win another one. And we completely wiped them there too. That's so big. Okay. Hopefully we can get Lombardy to go down there and siege now. I mean, we may actually just have to send men, but this is so dangerous right now. Any other war will just screw us so hard. There's a pretty good EU4 mod for the Bronze Age. Do you mean expanded timeline, Eben, or which one? There was a really good Bronze Age mod for CK3 being developed, but it unfortunately it got stopped pretty early on. I was really looking forward to seeing that progress. Arnie Ludovici must certainly be one of the foremost master of artilleries of our time. He has revolutionized our military and warfare. May he be remembered for centuries. We got stability. No, we need that prestige much more. Artillery captain. We are actually beginning to innovate some actual land doctrine and technology for the first time in EU4. We can't go south. I don't know if the AI will do it either. How many men do they have left? None. Whoa, they have no manpower left and only 300,000 men. We can drag this out. This is so dangerous. Sure, no one wants to go after us right now. Keep good relations with all of our old rivals and neighbors. Oh my gosh. Lombardy just had a revolution. They're gonna fall to the revolutionary movement if we don't help them here. Only almost 200,000 revolutionaries in Lombardy besieging Empress Agnes. We cannot allow them to fall here. We're gonna make the peace here. We can't abandon Lombardy. We don't have the men to sustain this war. And we cannot allow one of our few remaining allies to fall to revolution for Europe's sake and for our own sake. Given that, I think it would make sense that our government would sue for terms. Let's see what we can get here. Yeah, we just can't get any of these. It's so weird. We need the fort, I think, down there. Can we get them to release this, perhaps? We can. No. We don't have the fort. We're gonna take war reparations. I want to take as much money as we can carry. It's not one thing, it's another. All right. Any other deals we can get out of this? An equal treaty, maybe? No. We'll sign it there. 8,000 ducats, and we're going to take war reparations from them. Given the war is over, we have actually managed to defeat Yorubaland, a war declared against us. I'm sure no one in Europe thought that we would win that. I'm sure the king doubted even his own abilities and that of our military. And our forces probably doubted victory there. Against all the odds, we did manage to push them back. I don't think we lost any major battle in that entire war. So, roleplay-wise, that's also a very big moment for us, right? Our military, for really the last 400 years on land, has been the laughingstock of Europe. Although our admiralty and our navy has won battle after battle, taking on the greatest fleets in the world, I don't think we won a major land battle in the first 300 years of EU4. So after centuries of humiliation, to have a victory so decisive, and again, it's not like this is our timeline where this is a very backwards Africa. I mean, they're strong. Yorubaland is a very strong country. To take them on and to not lose a single major battle, I mean, that would be a big moment for our military, for our country, for support in our institutions and the monarchy and our king, continuing to cement the legacy of King Solomon IV as a very capable and strong leader, which he is, and to, again, give our land forces just a lot more credibility all over Europe, which is good for us. That being said, we are not done yet. We need to march to Lombardy with our allies. We're not going to get access. We'll send our troops to Venice by way of boat then, is what we'll do here. And then after we help them with their rebels, we are going to go back to Asia and finish our colonial war there, which has been ongoing for over 2 decades. Wow. I was mixed up. The Bronze Age mod is for Imperator, and possibly better than Imperator, not EU4. Oh, for sure. You know what it's called? I might have to check that out, actually. Growth of regional, regimental towns. We got this event earlier today, and I'm not going to reread it. What do we want to do with all that money? We could do a lot more buildings. We could build a lot more. We could really grow our trade fleet. That's probably the smart move here, honestly. Admiralty would want, obviously, a naval focus, so we'll build up a much larger fleet of trade ships in the Mediterranean. And then with the remaining funds, we're going to do a lot of development economically. Again, we industrialized really early on. We took that one government reform. What was it called? Let me find it. Strengthen the industrial sector. So we'll be focusing on that a lot more too. We'll build, let's see here, manufactories probably. Or we have a few more counting houses we can do. Quite expensive, but worth it. And then some manufactories. Have we upgraded all of our forts? I think so. No, we haven't in Sassari. That's a huge strategic threat. We'll upgrade our fortresses in Sassari and Cagliari. And then I think we are going to hold on to the rest of our money. It's good to have a bit of a surplus in the Royal Treasury. Reminds me of the island of Sea of Time. reminds me of Island in a Sea of Time. Oh, I've read that book series. Yeah, the one where they go back in time, right? That whole island doesn't, and then like one of the members goes to like ancient Macedon and teaches them like modern technology, and then like a native confederation forms. Yeah, I remember those books. Those are super cool. There's another sister series to that about like I forget the name of it. Same author, and they're technically in the same universe too, where when that happened and Nantucket went back in time, all technology stopped working in the entire world. So it's about like the United States going medieval again and stuff like that. It's like guns stop working, technology stops working, and it's pretty good. He's a very good writer. I've read most of both of those series. I think Island Out of Time only had 3 or 4 books, right? They're very fun. All right. Can they not get back to their lands? No, they can. All right, let's go help them. I know, Chiefs. I'm distracted. We'll build up a base camp in Venice and prepare there. Never mind, we'll go to Treviso then. Castella proclaimed a hegemony? What did they proclaim? They lost their naval hegemony. And they took it. No, they took economic hegemony. Wow. Castella once more. A hegemony. And then the military one was taken by the Chagatai. That makes a lot of sense. In terms of the great powers, we haven't looked at this in a long time too. Chagatai, Castella, Revolutionary Byzantium, Revolutionary Bavaria. So 2 out of the top 5 most powerful countries in the world now have revolutionary governments. Fatimids in Egypt, Maharashtra in India, Yorubaland. We took on the 7th greatest power? Wow. Followed by Britannia. Yeah, we've really come up a lot, haven't we? My gosh. Wow. Put our troops in Treviso. There's a lot of them. Be careful here. We'll bring both of our 2 major armies over. Let's also go ahead and remove our mercenaries. They've done their job now, and let's get some income back. Our trade fleet, I think, also may need upgraded. Wait, we don't have another trade fleet. Oh, we lost it in the War of Castella, didn't we? I forgot about that. Look at the mod map. Thank you, Evan. Look real quick. Oh, that actually looks really good. All right. I could see myself streaming that, I'll be honest. I don't like to support Imperator for what Paradox did, but this looks really good. And I love the Bronze Age period. It's so interesting. Yeah, I may get that a stream sometime, actually. That looks very good. I had no idea that existed. I just don't keep up with Imperator like I do the other Paradox games. Build up our trade power in Genoa. We've lost so much there. Given we won't be able to take any more land probably in Italy, I don't think we'll ever actually get control of the Genoa trade node, unfortunately. 366, and hold on, we could actually get that if we build up a giant light ship fleet. Wow, okay, I stand corrected. The burghers are very strong in our country too. We're very competitive. We have industrialized early and we're more efficient. We have learned to do better with what we have due to our tough situation. So we actually may be able to contend trade there. That's unexpected. You can start as Troy? Oh my gosh. That's actually really cool. They need a submod that would add some event chains for failed industrial ideas, cuneiform typewriters, Egyptian steam engine. That would be really cool. Egyptian batteries, they made those too. Greek early computers. Okay. Split our army and wait for Lombardy. They only have 22,000 men over right now. See if we can get Lombardy to follow us here. Among some of our nobles, it has become increasingly fashionable to spend time on experimentation and philosophy. Some have begun to form regular discussion groups, book clubs, while others use letters to correspond with other inquisitive minds. One such group has contacted our king asking for patronage and support. They insist that such endorsement would bring great benefits to the king in the near future. We'd support those sorts of things. We're a very modern man, a modern king. They want 3,000 ducats for their discussion group? What are they doing? What kind of book club is this? All right, we're gonna take this another way in the roleplay. We'll just say that this is a group of nobles who are basically privately funding like scientific advancements. So that would actually necessitate 3,000 ducats, which is a lot. We can afford it though. We'll pay it. We have to take out loans to subsidize a noble scientific private development group. Yeah, it'll probably be done with the universities we built too. That's farmlands. We can take that, I think. All right, let's make the crossing. The first of the revolutionaries we have fought here, and we are going to absolutely destroy them outside the gates of Milano. Fantastic. Let's follow that up with another. In Novara. Are they all river crossings? It might be. Yeah, it is. All right, screw it. We're going in. Another taken out. Lotharingia is also intervening to help here. Yeah, all the remaining royal powers of Europe, I'm sure, are just trying to help out anyone who's fighting off these revolutionaries. It's such an existential threat. Lotharingia was the battleground also between Bavaria and the coalition in the war, so they especially would very much detest these revolutionaries, given their country was basically perpetually sieged out for around 10 years during that coalition war, which was lost. All right. We have successfully put down the revolution in Lombardy, continuing to grow our relationship and trust with the Lombards. We have a lot of favors with them too. Let's convert that into trust. We want a healthy relationship with the Lombardians. They are on the border of revolutionary Bavaria, so it's in our interest to make sure that they are strong and we can help them any way we can. Oh, all right. My air conditioning unit is not putting in work today. They all end up writing Greek play fan fiction. The Frog of Aristophanes too. Are they Lombards? Let's look at the culture map. It's a good question. Or Latin, Lombard Latin culture. They are. Yep. I mean, they had it in CK3 and they've never fallen. They were much stronger for a period, but Castalla, you know, took a lot from them. All right. Whoa. What the heck? Byzantium is completely sieged out. Revolutionary Byzantium. Byzantine Brazil declared a war of independence. Who's supporting them? Probably Britain, maybe? No. heck? Revolutionary Bavaria supported Brazil's independence. Bavaria and Byzantium are fighting. Oh my gosh. And they got declared war on by the Fatmids. Oh wow. This is... Byzantium's really going to get weakened here. I thought that they were going to be natural allies, but they're both revolutionary governments, but it appears not. They're rivals. There's just like two dramatically different revolutionary groups in charge in Bavaria and Byzantium. I mean, I guess due to cultural and maybe like, you know, ideological differences, they're just, you know, they followed the same movement of revolution, but they took dramatically different directions. I mean, Bavaria is run by a chairman. They're a revolutionary republic, whereas Byzantium is run by a consul and a revolutionary republic. Do they have elections? They do. Communist versus democracy. I mean, I don't think communist would really exist as a concept quite yet. Collective ownership and all that. Then again, the pirates were doing it already, technically. Wow. That is going to really change Europe. Byzantium has been so strong since they reformed. Well, let's take advantage of this and finish our wars in Asia, I think. Where's the Navy? Let's bring them up. And we'll take our transport ships. We're going to send 50,000 men and land them in Indonesia. We'll take on the remaining forces of the Paying, and in that war that has now probably almost been 30 years. All right, I'm going to go to speed 4 for a bit because this is all going to be logistical and getting to Asia. Go back, Sinlord. What if Odyssey landed in Sardinia and met this cool king named Lysandros, and they fought a bunch of monsters? Odysseus almost stayed, but Lysandros was like, no, bro, she's waiting for you, man. That's an interesting take on the Odyssey, but historically accurate. Orion, I bet you read the Percy Jackson books when you were younger. I was obsessed with those. You take 58 total. 41, 47. You take another 10. All right, our General Seymundo Alfieri will lead our men, our greatest general who saw us to victory against Yoruba, and he will lead the expedition back towards Asia. I said we would return. King Solomon promised a return to Asia to continue our colonial ambitions. It only took almost 30 years. Right. We'll land in Oman. We'll take their territories once more in the Papua Island. And then from there, we'll go into Paying. It'll be difficult. They do have a very strong army. It'll be around double our size, but if we're careful, we may be able to take it. No, I was just weird about mythology generally. That's fair. Tumblr humor and YouTube videos. You remember Tumblr in like its early days? I didn't use it a lot, but we still have those rebels in Asia. We have to actually take out those rebels first. My gosh, there's so much. We'll take out the rebels currently sieging out Vita Levu. They've been sieging out that star fortress perpetually for 10 years. And then we'll deal with that really... Oh, we'll have to land, won't we, on Tonga? They have the star fort now, too. Orzone Savoyer has died. I just noticed that there is an 82,000 man army off our border in the Pacific, on the island chain we own there. I think it would be a very good idea the court of Sardinia to send a diplomat to India to ask what's going on and improve our relationship with them. That's the wrong one. That's their colony. Australia's 90,000 men. There we go. Yeah, oh my gosh, they're hostile. That's probably a war they're preparing for. We'll start to get more active diplomatically in the Pacific. I really wish we had more diplomats here. It would make sense at this point Sardinia would have a diplomatic corps. I'll take that as our next ability. We'll go for additional diplomat. Given we've been running around the courts of Europe and the Pacific for 200 years trying to stop more wars. TikTok is absorbing most of the drama users who left, so the place is more chill. Nice. And yeah, TikTok is very popular. I've never used it very much. I don't tend to watch much short form content if I can help it, because I just get sucked into it, you know. Nobility concerned for the loss of privileges. They've been losing those for 200 years now, since we started to work with the burghers. Our policy of battlefield commissions is seriously concerning our nobles. They believe that just because a man shows some ability on the battlefield doesn't mean that he will be a good general. In fact, it seems that life is a mess, and the mess is becoming quite unbearable, as these new officers have no idea how a gentleman behaves. There are also rumors that the rank and file believe that a good leader ought to be better bred. Well, given that they have very little power left, and given we are very meritocratic, certainly in the Admiralty, we will refuse them. Stability up here again, too. Cottage industry again. Economic development is not always about conflict. It seems rich merchants in some of our burgher-dominated cities have been attempting to bypass various guild privileges by outsourcing work to the homes of families living outside the city. In fact, this putting out system has been a very profitable strategy, only further inflames the anger of the artisans of the city, who feel their ancient rights have been trampled, that the carefully managed prices of their products will suffer. The House of Sardinian artisans now turn to the king to defend their privileges, as the city council has been unable to root out competition from outside the city. This time we will support the guild privileges, because we're trying to keep the burghers happy during these wars, to keep our economy stable. We have a very good relationship with them again, so we'll safeguard them. All right, let's go into port. How many men actually survived the journey? All right, I was very dumb and made our fleet move before we actually had all the troops on it. There was a dramatic strategic mistake where the admiral was told to sail to Asia before the army was put on the ship. My gosh. It is one of my bigger fuck-ups of the day, I'd say. Yeah, our whole fleet just sailed to Asia without any troops on board. Another Corsican revolt. They really want their independence, don't they? Another 30,000 men just rose up in Corsica. Well, good thing we're bringing the fleet back. My gosh, we have no forces in Caesarea right now. Greenland is still the original country that we had at the start of EU4. No one ever tried to conquer Eriksland or Eriksfjord. Still ruled by the kings there. That is the ex-British colony from the CK3 event chain that we had. And they have remained independent. Very small, very weak, very behind on tech, but independent. Do I have on any mods? Yes, I can send you the mod list real quick. And while I do that, I'm also going to go to the bathroom very quickly. Here is the mod pack I am using currently for the mega campaign in EU4. You are very welcome. Be back in just a moment. All right, I'm back. Were we? Okay, so with the Navy coming back from Asia after that extremely major strategic mistake, we are going to go ahead and deal with the Second Corsican Revolution against the Sardinian government. Obviously, if we were a much more tolerant society, I might even negotiate something like we released them as an independent country and roleplay it out as giving them autonomous rule. I mean, I guess we would have the early formations of nationalism at this time. I mean, the larger movements won't come really until Victoria 3, obviously. But if we were a much less harsh and absolutist government, I might do that. But again, given our levels of absolutism, given obviously the need for the royal family of House Torres to really consolidate its power and rule again, there's really not much we can do in terms of making concessions. So we will have to, for the second time, brutally put down the freedom fighters seeking a independent Corsica. Now, remember, they've actually been under our country for probably 600 years. 650 years, actually. Because we conquered them after we formed the Kingdom of Sardinia, and I think that was around 1100. So, yeah, they've been with us a long time. But again, it's not something we can do. As I said, for our next ability, we are going to go ahead and take the extra diplomat. Hold on. You know what song I have to play for this? One of my favorite EU4 songs. EU4 did actually make some amazing music. I used to listen to Guns and Steel all the time. I actually could play some of that. Where is it? Came out with, I think, the DLC that's giving us these missions. It's the really good one from the Rule Britannia DLC. Alba? Might be. Let me try it real quick. It's the mood very well here. Yeah, I'll play this one. Yeah, EU4 soundtrack's fantastic. It spoiled me in strategy games for for music, which is such an important part of game development. The Industrial Revolution. The rapid pace of technological change is beginning to have a profound effect on the very organization of society. The invention of the steam engine, which was in Cagliari, as well as the atmospheric engine, which was in Cagliari. The use of coke and iron products and new mechanized manufacturing equipment allows for unprecedented economies of scale, bringing about a massive increase in worker productivity. Further inventions are helping to greatly ease the transportation of large volumes of goods, with global trade as interconnected as never before. Factories can both draw on raw materials from and sell the resulting manufactured goods to market around the world, bringing in unimaginable riches for their owners. Meanwhile, the field of agriculture, new practices such as crop rotation and the use of enclosures has similarly increased production, meaning that fewer workers are needed to work the same area of land, leading many to abandon their homes and settle in the growing industrial cities. A new world is being born, one in which the ambition and the rich shall dominate society as never before. I think we've got the landowners getting very strong if we had Victoria 3 factions right now. So we did get the new technology. Where did that spawn? I'm really hoping we got that. Come on. It appeared in Westfalen up north in revolutionary Bavaria. There's a really good chance we would have got it, I think, given... I don't know what actually spawns those, but given Cagliari has been kind of an industrial hub, that would have made a lot of sense. But no. It has appeared in northern Germany, within the borders of revolutionary Bavaria, already showing their technological advantages and progress. That's a shame. Everybody wants to rule the world again? I think the Byzantine Wars just ended. Brazil formed. Oh my gosh, we had Brazil form. They won their Revolutionary War with the help of Bavaria. Not only did they take all of the Byzantine colony, they also took lands in mainland Europe. The heck? I'm sensing some really... I'm sensing a lot of spite in that peace treaty, I'm gonna be honest. Wow. Holy crap. They're allied with Revolutionary Bavaria now too. Grand Consul, it's a republic, Brazil. Oh man, that's cool. Actually, that's really cool. You know what I just realized? It's so risky. I mean, they're sieged out by the Fat Mids. We've got no manpower, and they've still got over 500,000 manpower. Let me get the music back 1 second. That's a tough call. This is a very opportune moment to actually take southern Italy, though. We have never had an opportunity like this. We probably never will again, too. We used to also own Crete back in CK3, so... Yeah, could one of the mods put up a poll real quick? Actually, I can do it real quick, no worries. Because I gotta just sit here and think about this myself, my gosh. Alright. Everyone watching, you are now members of the various factions within the military of Sardinia, who would currently be having a very fierce debate in Sassari. On the one hand, how could we start a war at a time like this? 30,000 men left in our reserves to recruit. Another rebellion in Corsica, a war in Asia we have not attended to in 3 decades. But on the other hand, a moment without equal in potential for expansion in Europe, something we have failed to do so many times despite all the odds. This is a very dangerous but very... Oh, this could be huge for Sardinia regrowing power in Europe, but it is so risky. They have no allies. Only 100,000 men, but as soon as the Famids are out of that war, we're in trouble. Oh my gosh. Ghost messages. So really briefly, I'm gonna link something else really quickly while the poll is going on, because we kind of have to decide right now regardless. So heads up, if you would like to catch up on this, if you are enjoying this and you want to keep watching the mega campaign, I'm doing them every weekend. They're normally on Saturday afternoons. I may keep doing on Sunday afternoons too. If you'd like to catch up, I do have a YouTube series. I don't usually promote that. The main reason is, I'm sure even if this is enjoyable, it's probably hard to understand the history of it, just so much has happened. If you would like to catch up on things, it is very long, but that is how you can do that. Right. What was the vote like? Oh, it is very one-sided. All right. Lombardy's at war with them too. Oh my gosh. How much of their fleet's left? All of it. Oh wow. Okay. Is our navy ready to contend them? I'm gonna not use the ledger right now. Do we still have our good admiral? We do not. No, we do. Osorio's still alive. We'll have to take on the whole Byzantine navy. If we lose the Mediterranean, we're done. Let's at least cross our soldiers over to Sari, so that we can take out those rebels. Because if we get cut off and lose this war, and of course it gets independence, that would be catastrophic. Yeah, you can pin the link if you'd like, Russia. Even if manpower is low, you can spam mercenaries given your income and naval powers. That's very true, actually. We probably want to do that regardless. We'll take it easy to start off with and see what we can get. We'll have to move very quickly here because Lombardy is also going after southern Italy, it looks like. We're going to probably have to compete with them if we do go down the path of Italian unification. Okay. All right, deal with those rebels. Rally the fleet. And let's start the war. Hold on, I know what I want to play right now real quick. I have a whole playlist with Byzantine music from the beginning of the campaign when we were still really Byzantine culturally. I think it's time to bring it back. Here we go. Oh boy. All right, let's do this. In a meeting in Sassari, given good counsel by both the Admiralty and the generals of the land forces, as well as, of course, listening to the advice of the burghers, Solomon is a man known for many things, but foremost is that he does not back down from the opportunities history grants him. Despite the dangers, despite the poor position of the kingdom, he knows that this is not an opportunity we will get again, and as such, has decided to take his nation into war and to take on once allies and now enemies in Byzantium. Stop our military access so we don't lose all that stability. Let's go for something we can siege easily too, Cosenza. Have to wait until the 2nd of March. They actually kind of like us again, too. Well, they had their chance. Another revolt in Asia. We'll turn a blind eye and prepare. All right, let's send the fleet. See if we can catch them at a port here. We did. Trade ships only, though. Their main fleet, I think, is in port still. Captured a lot of light ships there. I'm just going to put our Admiral Osorio on hunting fleets. And then let's go ahead and cross our troops over to Italy here. Let's do some development, too. We have all this excess diplo power. Just that coal province. Well, I guess we can just do it across the board. The cheaper, the better. We'll go with that for now. I'm obviously not being very strategic about that. We hit their fleet again. That's their transport fleet. That's huge. If we can take Constantinople as soon as the Fatimids peace, we can block the crossing in the Bosphorus. And they're not meeting us with their large fleet here. They've got a lot of heavy ships somewhere, but we have not spotted it yet. Because they're on mission, I think. What's going on there? Burn down those transport ships. Light ships we can absolutely use, though. We're gonna land in Cosenza, and let's take as much as we can here. If we can go north to Salerno, that would be very nice, too. Easily done. Oh, we can't cross, can we? End of the revolution. Castella has managed to defeat the revolutionaries in their country. There are a few times the revolutionaries actually got a lot of land in Castella. Emperor Asbat has done a very good job of solidifying his hold. Expansionist. Oh, he's hostile again to us. We have to basically permanently keep a diplomat in Cordoba, I should say, right now. Did they lose it? Yeah, they did. They dealt with the revolution. So we can get the siege of Salerno there. Yeah, Lombardy's going to take a lot of this land, unfortunately. We can get some islands in the eastern Mediterranean, though. Maybe even in Greece. If you remember, actually, in CK3, our family established a dynasty in Greece and Hellas. During the crusade for Greece, it was one of our ancestors who was put on the throne. Hellas survived all the way to early EU4, where they lost in the Warring States period in Greece's history. So we actually do have a historical claim on Greece. I think it'd be much more interesting, though, to actually establish Hellas again and make it a client state in Greece. That'd be very interesting, and start another dynasty there. And make it a client state. I think that makes a lot more sense historically. I'm sure there may be a branch to that distant family of ours that survives still somewhere. We'll put them on the throne of Greece if we can do it. Lithuania and Castella went to war of Byzantium too. We got in just in time. This is turning into a partition. Completely. Let's drop our fleet in Crete and make sure we get that. No, we declared war on Byzantium. Biren. The Fatimids are at war with them. Lombardy's at war with them. Castella's at war with them. They already lost a war with Bavaria and Brazil. Brazil's independent and a republic now. So it's just a wholesale partition of Byzantium. All right, we should win this. Can I put a general in there? Oh gosh, I can't, okay. We should still win this. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. Look at the units that the Byzantines have. That's so sick. I've never seen that. That's not a mod, is that base game? All right, we're going in without a general. That's probably not the most advised thing here, but I think we should still win this. If not, we can retreat. We're gonna land in Greece next. See how this goes. We're gonna take it. Big. Landmin and Achaia. No, they betrayed us so many times. All right, we did just contend a large portion of the, no, that was the whole Byzantine fleet in the Mediterranean. 50 heavy ships and 160 galleys, which we did win in combination with a number of other navies here. Wonderful. The Byzantine fleet is gone. Only a small portion remains. That's actually probably not wise. Say Cephalonia, and then bring the rest of our forces across so we have an army that can take them here. No need to make any rash decisions. Bosnia will get that siege though. Pay off some of our loans. Siege too. I'm gonna send a detachment to take Rhodes and Cyprus as well. We need to lay our claim to these islands. It'd be very strategically useful to have ports in the eastern Mediterranean here. We'd be able to project a lot of power east in the future. What's up, Crack Jesus? How's it going? How's the Ambadar campaign going? I haven't looked at too many of the roleplay statements for it. It looked pretty fun. Only 1,000 defenders in Rhodes. We should get that no problem. My gosh. Asia's just completely burning while we're focusing on Europe, but that's fine. We cannot give up these opportunities. Let's also send our trade fleet to Genoa, all of them. See if we can get control of that trade node. Another admiral for that as well, Pignatelli. Oh my god. Well, out of the Naval Academy of Sassari comes nothing less than a protege. Bernat Pignatelli is, to simply put it, about as perfect of an admiral as you can get. He is a 6.666. Holy crap. He's just like, this is probably just straight up like a genius. Like, I mean, this is like a Nelson here is what this is. Oh my gosh, look at that. If our Navy was not already strong, we now have Pignatelli leading them. Holy crap. All right. Wow. I bet our naval tradition's maxed out though, isn't it? Yeah, 100 naval tradition. Wow. We just witnessed the birth of a legend is what we saw there. Wars could be won with that man in charge of our Navy, to put it simply. The Naval Academy of Sassari is really putting out some pretty exceptional people lately. I mean, his predecessor, who's still, I mean, Osorio is also fantastic. My gosh. We truly do rule the waves. I hope we can actually get Naval Hegemon before victory. I don't think we have time, but that would be really cool. I think it's definitely warranted. Roads taken. And then let's land on Cyprus as well. Don't have an admiral on Cosenza. Let's fix that really quickly. Can't actually. It's fine. We'll drop one there after we, yeah, we'll take Cyprus too. How's our manpower looking? Still 600,000. This is by no means a safe situation. What are we naming JV and what are we naming it to? They do deserve a betrayal. I mean, after everything they've done. It was pretty good, well for me today actually. I started off by singing a bardcore cover of Fear of the Dark at a masquerade with all the players there. You guys are really getting into it, aren't you? And they gifted me 8,000 ducats for the performance. I regained the 25% of my country province that I lost, gained 1 extra county and a PU over Istralor. Hell yeah, that was this morning, right? I will play in one of those, another one of those Ambinar games when I get the time. Because the recent ones have just looked so fun. Well, yeah. Who are you playing in that one? I say we might want to go north here, honestly. We took on their navy again, and we sunk it to the bottom. The Sea of Azov. Almost none of it remains. I mean, that admiral. Did he get a trade out of that? He did not. Let's take some of these sieges in the north if we can get them. No, they're all being taken by the other powers. We're recovering manpower in this war too, so that's huge. So I guess we're gonna try and go for what remains of Italy and the peace deal, and then the eastern islands from Byzantium. Not huge concessions, but very important. It's this guy. This guy. My gosh. Pignatelli. He can keep the galleys, actually, honestly. We have control of the Genoa trade node too. I'm gonna be honest. I thought we might get game over there for a minute. 4 sessions ago, 5 sessions ago. If I was being honest with myself, I figured that we were gonna get game overed. We've actually kind of come back. Knock on wood, I mean, there will be 100 war crises in the next 100 years, but compared to how we were doing, I'm really shocked we came back from our bottom there. I thought this was kind of done. I figured we'd have to switch over to Castella and our dynasty there. Yeah, we have so much of that trade node now. What is our trade income like? 200. We can really upgrade the fleet again too, can't we? Let's start building buildings. No use just having all this money. I just feel weird. It feels wrong to like have such a large surplus of money without loans. It feels wrong. It feels so strange. All right, let's build up the rest of the courthouses then, which are building in every area, regardless of value. Let's found another university too to celebrate our recent victories. I'd say we could found it in the Pacific, but given that that's all just owned by rebels right now. I already built them there. We'll build one in Kairouan. There is a great project there, we just don't get any benefits from it. We're good. Playing as the Bards of Scientil. Nice! I remember them from the first Hammurabae game we did when we had a player on there. And he was doing some things like that, some musical stuff. They do bardic magic, right? That's where the Bard College is. You were Ibavar in a session. They're so strong. I remember when we did the religious wars in the Ambinar game, and Ibavar was just like literally carrying it. It's kind of crazy. What better a name? I missed it. The Pignatelli. Not our flagship. That's named after Lysandro. But we'll do another great ship here. You can't build more than one flagship, can you? No. We'll name one of the captured Byzantine ships. Pignatelli. Alright, Cyprus has fallen, Rhodes has fallen. Castella's coming for Crete too. There's really not anything left to siege. Do they have any colonies left? It's already sieged out, they do. This might be the time to send the Navy back to Asia too, honestly. Like we are looking very good here. I'm going to send a contingent of our remaining Navy in Europe. We'll give them a task force of, we can do quite a lot actually, 20 heavy ships, and we'll go ahead and send all these troops who have been working very hard to go ahead and go to Asia and fight that war too. A little risky, but there's nothing left for us to really do or siege out in Europe at the moment. I couldn't keep playing it though. I can't manage that big nations in EU4, especially not with elf magic on top of the base game. That's fair. It's a lot if you're not used to playing it. I know you don't play too much EU4. What the? At the bottom of the tin in every important metric, but we've got Seoul. It's all that matters. Unstated regions. Western Sicily, actually. We've got the power forts. Let's go ahead. I always forget stating is a thing. Western Sicily, too. Then we'll leave the rest. All right, time to go to Asia before the next crisis, hopefully. If you're keeping certain stuff unstated on purpose, I'm not, I promise. Maybe turning them into trade companies would make RP sense. Outside of Europe, definitely. That's what we're gonna do in Asia, optimally. But we'll see. 50 ships. In Gothic territory, what do you mean? Yeah, let's go look at America. We haven't looked in the New World in a long time. They are pretty stable. Unagundoi. The new king has come of age. Well, no, he hasn't. Henry is 20. Oh, he was inaugurated. Okay. Yeah, the new king has come of age. He's a tactical genius and a sinner. Interesting America over there. They have vassalized and are currently annexing Illinois. Canada formed too. Whoa. And they're allied now with France and New Norway. Japanese Canada is still left. The Swedes conquered a bunch of Norwegians' territories, so they've gotten a bunch of these old colonies now. Oh. Yeah, apparently you need to be 21, like drinking in the US. All right. Go ahead, and how many troops do we have on board? We'll put the rest of these on there too, and then we will sail. Yeah, it's probably whaling up there in that sea. That does sound about right. Historically, very, very accurate too, given their enjoyment of whaling to the present day. And we will leave that. If we can develop more, we'll do that. I do want to combine these, send them to port really quickly. Can grab a couple of these guys too. I just want enough here for sieging out. 71. They have a star fortress there, don't they? Yes. Do need more men though. I'd love to just build more soldiers, but we really don't have the money for it. We could just get mercenaries for the war in Asia, honestly. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna need more men. How many do we currently have on the ship? Go check in a second. Imagine how insane their seafood is with control over the whole Pacific. The Japanese would be seafood gods in this timeline. Yes, they would. It would be delicious, even more so than it already is. I'm gonna take another admiral. Solomon Kasadi. He'll lead the expedition to Asia. For only 15, actually. Let's hire... We can do a pretty big mercenary company here. We'll go with the Grand Company. We'll send them. We'll combine the Grand Company with our task force here in Bizerta, and then we'll send them to land in Papua, and then go after the rest of their holdings in modern-day Myanmar. Hire an Asian mercenary group. I should have done that. Are there any? That would have been way more cool. There was. Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You're right. The Quito, are they? For sure, actually. We're good. 30, 45, yeah. See how many actually make it. Got Crete. $45. We can actually carry another 13. I'm gonna take another 13 from here. We have our task force. Renata Sony and his family. A merchant family from Tlemcen has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with Takruri, Brazil, by successfully establishing themselves in both Rio de Janeiro and Takruri Brazilian hinterlands. They have come to be very influential in both our societies and very rich. I mean, good trading relations with Brazil is good. They are another great potential ally. Let's actually send a diplomat. Their leader is Monarch named Antonio. Grand Consul. Malevolent. Or who Muslim? The Fatimids are Muslim, and then the Takrur are Muslim, so it is, there's a little bit of Shia down here in the south. Actually, no, the Takrur are not Muslim, they are still animists. I forgot about that. All right. We sail. Let's deal with those revolts that have been ongoing for so long now, if I can find them. There they are. We have the troops on board our ship this time, unlike last time, so we are fine. Very delayed expedition, but for good reason. Growth of the Corsica glass industry. Corsica has always had some local production of forest glass, but with the advances in glass production of late, this province has grown into a promising center of local business. Given the right support, glass could rise to be a main export of the area. Interesting. Wow. Corsica is very prosperous despite their recent revolts. They were formed by a converted Andalusian. Oh, do you mean Castalla? Castalla is Christian. That's what you mean. Oman has lost almost all their territory, but they still have 88,000 men. The Paeng still have a force of 100,000 men to deal with, so this will be a bit rough on us. Japan's also really been expanding in Asia when we haven't been looking. Look at that. My gosh. We also need to fight a war with the Hosokawa. This is a moment I wish I had a co-op. There's like 3 things that need to be done like at all times. But it's a grand campaign. There's always lost opportunity. Yorubaland is at war with the Papal States. These guys are a little worryingly bad shape there. Should be fine. We still have 2,000 men in Rio de la Plata who have been there since the end of the Papal War. I guess they've just made themselves comfortable and have been living off the city. I forgot about that. Oh, I did not do that, Tilky, I promise. Brazil was a puppet or a colony of Byzantium. They was revolted for independence with the help of Bavaria, and in the peace treaty they took land in Greece. Crazy stuff. Yeah, so many of our enemies are getting their just due right now. It's kind of crazy. But the cost is very powerful revolutionary governments, so... We have a diet. We're not rebuilding relationship with Hosokawa. We'll build a counting house in Dara. We're already doing that. We're losing a lot of men on this crossing. Monarch name. All right. It has been so long since we've had a presence in Asia. I don't think we'll be giving Yorubaland land access, even to fight our enemies, the Papal State. Have we actually rebuilt relations with them, or do they still hate us? Conflicts and protests over taxes, landlord cruelty, expropriation, serfdom, and custom policies have become quite frequent. If we don't manage to solve the problem soon, the consequences of our nation's stability could be dire. We can actually afford to deal with that, shockingly. Going to port? Yeah, not a lot of men made that crossing, did they? We'll wait for them to reinforce. Deal with those rebels. Cross, deal with those rebels. I think we have ones in Hawaii now too, don't we? Yeah, deal with the Hawaiian rebels there, and then we can fight the Indonesian coalition. Late game EU4 is so intense, man. Like, there's so much to be doing at all times. I mean, I suppose you don't have to. To really keep up with things, it's so much. Fall of Constantinople hasn't happened in hundreds of years. This is a very big moment there, too. Sieged out by the Fatimids. Looks good. We'll go one more and send them. Easily dispatched. All right, let's cross over to Tonga. You know, reading history when I was younger, whenever I read about colonial empires not being able to keep order in the colonies, it always struck me as being so weird. It's like, these were super states with so much resources. How could they not be like administering their colonies and having them properly run? And then I played EU4 and I figured out why. Because if you're fighting existential major European wars, which they all were, you don't have the troops in time to do it. I mean, you could, but it's hard. Not as that simple, obviously, but you know, I think it is a component of it. So when you read about every colonial empire, especially the Spanish and the French struggling to keep control of their colonial lands, it seems so odd, but administering an empire when you don't have instantaneous communication and boat trips take forever is very hard. The true heir to Genghis Khan and Caesar. Honestly though, Brazil taking mainland Byzantium land could be RP'd as the Borgias coming back from the colonies. It's a republic though. Would a Grand Republic in Brazil actually support a Byzantine monarchy? It's an interesting idea, though. I think I'm going to save it before next week. I'm going to make it a basically puppet of Brazil, and we'll make it a monarchy. It's a Grand Republic, though. I don't know. I don't think they do that. Union of States. No, they probably wouldn't do that either. They have really interesting reforms. No. In this timeline, with these countries, I think they may just directly rule there. You gotta remember, it is a Byzantine colony, right? They're all culturally Greeks. I mean, I know it's cursed to look at. It does make sense. It's true. Does Brazil actually get to hold the title as the third Rome now? As the heirs of the Roman Empire? With Byzantium's royal family gone, the Senate abolished, Rome's dead in Europe. I mean, they're a republic, but they have a Senate like old Rome. You know, yeah, kind of. Federal Senate, old Byzantine army structure. There would be a case to be made there that the Brazilians are technically the heirs of the Roman Empire in this timeline. That is absolutely wild. Even as a republic, I mean, Rome was in its early days, right? Yeah, Brazil is colonizing Europe right now, in a manner of speaking. I didn't think about it that way. You're not wrong. Wow. It's wild. Yeah, no, that makes some sense, honestly. It's fucking, it is Greek. Oh my gosh. Well, they would speak Latin too. Because in CK3 when we ended, Byzantium was speaking Latin. Yeah. Every once in a while, you get a moment in this grand campaign where it's just like, what the hell? What if Brazil ends up conquering all of the former lands of Bulgaria, Greece, and Anatolia? Would they be Rome? Just with a new name? There are two types of people who are Greek and people who wish to be Greek. I mean, they were colonized by, you know, Roman citizens, technically. It would be very different at this point, let's be honest. Huh, all right. That threw me for a second. All right, back to playing. I'm gonna fire on this fort, otherwise we'll be here forever. We have the military points for it. And then there were the Greeks that wished that they were Brazilian. Can we peace? We sieged everything we could. I don't think we'll be able to have the war score for it, unfortunately, Moose. We'll have to wait until the Fatmids peace out and then send our soldiers back to siege out a bunch more. Unless we can take land that we want here. Castile would form a coalition. We have that much aggressive expansion? Castile really doesn't like that. Oh, come on. No matter what we do, we get aggressive we get a coalition with Castile. They might join a coalition. Dude, we can't fight Castile right now. See what we could take theoretically. We could take part of Italy and Crete. That's not bad to just walk out of with, honestly. Maybe a bit of ducats as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can get Corfu instead. Or not Corfu, what name is it? Cephalonia. Nope. Not an option. We'll take the gold. We'll take Crete, and we'll take 2 provinces in mainland Italy. That is not bad to walk away from here. And then we are going to go immediately send a diplomat to Castile to beg their forgiveness here. Wow, yeah, no, we walked out of that nice. Look at that. Lombardy will take a lot of this, so we are going to probably end up having to go to head-to-head with them, but that's fine. We could go in on the Pope right now. You're not wrong. This is really our Total War golden age, isn't it? We're allied with not that many people. Let's focus on Asia. We've been too distracted. We've allowed too much to get away from us in Asia. We will come back and look at the Papal States, but right now, we need to focus on Asia. We need to get some trade companies there. We need to get some wealth. What are we gonna do with all this money? Again, this feels so weird. That. Stock exchanges. Basically everywhere we can. Training fields. I think we're good for now. Playlist over? I'm still watching. It's 9:30 already? Oh my gosh. It's like I accidentally opened Photoshop. I know I'm playing the Grand Campaign when like 4 hours just disappear. Wow. I'm not pulling an all-nighter. Oof, so I am very tired. I'm not exhausted, but I will end at the normal time tonight. Plus, you know, we gotta drag this out a little bit. I mean, taking your time with something like this is much more enjoyable, I think. You gotta savor Grand Campaigns, you really do. It's like eating all your candy when you're a kid instead of waiting and enjoying it over a longer period. All right, let's see if we can at least end this war before today ends. It's a lot of men they built up there. We also can get another rival. I'll have to wait till the war's done. Still 100 people? Really? I'm surprised. Appreciate everyone who stuck around and is enjoying it. All right, we almost had the fort. Then we only have to stop 2 more revolts in the Hawaiian Islands, and then we can get back to Indonesia. I know I've said that like probably well over 24 times now, but we are getting there. worth it. On good, good. All this military power. Strengthen our government. Can't go any higher. All right. And I guess then we'll develop some of our provinces for more troops as well. All about the same. What's this up to? A little over 200,000 max manpower now. Just the War of Oman to end the stream? Yeah, I think that sounds about right, JV. You should build more heavy ships when you can afford them. True. Especially with the Admiralty. We actually can't afford them now. Honestly, we're making so much income. It's crazy. Revolutionary Byzantium. They tell us of the end of a revolution. The forces of the Fatimids have utterly vanquished the Byzantine Revolutionary Army. As idealists are rounded up mercilessly, the silent majority has turned to dusting off their old monarchist symbols. Are they? Wow, they're back. There are now two claimants on the title of Third Rome, the heirs to Rome, Brazil and Byzantium, which is no longer revolutionary. They've gone back to being a kingdom, also led by a monarch named Antonio. The Borgians are back. They put the heirs of Genghis Khan back on the throne. Oh, that is sick. Did the Fatimids just install? In the roleplay, the Fatimids just installed one of Genghis Khan's heirs from that family back on the throne of Byzantium. I mean, they'd be as scared of this as us, to be fair. And they'd probably know that if they want to build a stable Byzantium that wouldn't collapse again, given they're already so weakened, they need a monarch who at least could be followed. And Fatmid's out here making really good foreign policy choices. These guys have been around since CK3, by the way. They're probably around 1,000 years, well, not 1,000 years old, 800 years old or so. Huh. Yeah, no, Chagatai are also Muslim, that's true. That's interesting. Huh. Well, Byzantium is back. They are no longer revolutionary. That leaves only revolutionary Bavaria, which is an absolute force to be reckoned with. We sure struck at the right moment there. Yo, these rebels. We still have to do to conquer the last Hawaiian island. I've completely forgotten about that. So much has been happening in Europe. Bit of a kowtow. That could be true. I mean, given that the Chagatai are the foremost world power at this point, that would make sense. Try to gain some favor there. All right. We are finally going back to Papua after 30 years. I'm thinking of the Hamilton song. Well, Butrus Dali. If we have the money, we could go for tier 4 advisors. You can do that, right? Yeah, we can. You can go to tier 5 advisors? What do we need the most at this point? Honestly, probably Diplo for maybe development, I'd say. Administration for coring. Yeah, probably just for development. I mean, we're really focused on our industrial economy at this point too, so. Yep, tier 5 advisor. That's what we should have been spending our money on. Oh, the British are in Papua as well now. Yeah, they fought the Hosokawa and took a bunch of... By the way, we're not alone in Asia now. The British have arrived and they have been taking a lot of territory while we've been busy. There's a good chunk of British lands around here now, I believe, after the war of the Hosokawa. So we will have a major European rival in Asia, after all. Where'd our fleet go? Victoria 3 starts in 1836, so we have around 70 years left. I think we probably have one, maybe two more sessions left of the Grand Campaign in EU4. Probably two. If I really go slow, 3. Impoverished artisans. New production methods has led to the rise of a promising textile industry in our country. However, this growth has left many old artisan families behind. Many are now poor and have to seek a much less profitable job in the growing industry. We would not really have sympathy for that, given we're so supportive of what it is. Ends in 1821. Can you play past that till 30 though? Crack, I thought that you can. Hold the fuck up. Whoa. Oh no. They had forces waiting for us. Are you kidding me? We might get slaughtered here. Oh no. Wait, that's not the British. That's a Maja Pawhead. I thought the British did take land in Asia because they're at war with the Hosokawa. Can we get access? We do have access with them. You can't play past. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm not on Iron Man, so I actually intended for us to play past the end. I wanted us to play to 1830 so we can save translate around at the right date. Crap, we're gonna get creamed here. Unless our boats can get here in time. Okay, end of the revolution. Moravia went revolutionary, but they are no longer. I don't think they'll get here in time. I'm gonna be honest. Unless? No way! Come on, roll! Oh my god, look at these rolls! Are we gonna win this? Come on! No way, come on! The Battle of Azman. Only artillery! Under the command of Seymunder Alfayeri. My god, he is a legend! Nothing but artillery in the jungles of Papua New Guinea took on a force almost 3 times his size! Holy crap! This man needs a statue in Sassari, I can tell you that. Wow, we actually won that. What the hell? Our military has really come a long way since those Castellan Wars, hasn't it? The tower will actually rise once more. All right, let's finish them off with our reinforcements, I think. Smugglers. We had the money to deal with them, thankfully. Let's finish them off. Only artillery, too. Can you imagine what that battle would have been like? Just like this absolutely crazy Sardinian general. We didn't defend, we attacked too. Literally forcing an attack on a fortified Indian position in the jungles, just lining up his artillery and just letting loose. Those soldiers are going to be telling the story of that battle for their whole lives, I think, to their children and grandchildren. Just pushing it as they fire. Oh my gosh. They are going to retreat, though. They have nowhere else to go after this, I think. Did we? We don't have our general. Oh, okay, he didn't die. I was scared for a minute there. We're fine. Finish them off. You know, yeah, the survivors of that battle did just get slaughtered there. The general got away. Oh, that's a tragedy. It appears they will not be telling stories to their grandchildren after all. My gosh, that's sad, actually. I did just kill all the war, the veterans, yes. That was unintentional. They got there too quickly. They got in front of the mercenaries. Ugh. Or the mercenaries stayed behind. Bards will sing tales. They're gonna make there will be one day in this timeline in the future, there will be an HBO documentary about Seymour Alfieri and his stand in Azmat. In this timeline's History Channel at 4 a.m. in the future, you'll be able to watch documentaries on that battle. Professor, why do you think that he chose to go in with all those artillery instead of waiting for reinforcements? Well, to be honest, I could give you the practical military reasoning, but frankly, he just had giant steel balls. It's that simple. It's my professional opinion. I have a PhD. It's not much more than that to it, honestly. All right, let's see if we can actually get a piece of Oman here. I don't want to actually go siege their home territory, but we might have to. They have a lot of men left, even after that. More demands for representation. Absolutely not. Cruelty of mercenaries. War is seldom without brutality. Soldiers are not known for their mercy, but this war has seen some exceptionally vile behavior on the part of our occupying forces. It appears that the Grand Company, the mercenary band we have sent to occupy the peninsula, are unsatisfied with the wages we provide them. We're paying them a lot, and have resorted to robbing the civilian population. Their actions have tainted the image of all of our troops, as extortion by means of terror and torture becomes commonplace. Of course, our Sardinian soldiers are reviled as well as feared, and stories of their atrocities spread well beyond the borders of the war. You know, that's not a bad thing. I mean, obviously, morally speaking, this is horrible. But in terms of our reputation, I mean, our army in the roleplay has been infamous for being like low quality, the laughingstock of Europe. Not only have we won all these wars and battles recently, but they're now getting known for their brutality. I think the High Command might not be viewing this as a bad thing. I'm gonna be honest. But we will try and prevent it in the future. As horrible as that is to say. This is 1764, after all. So thank you for the follow. Who was that? Smash Valden. Let's see if we can get a piece with Oman. All we want is your colonies. We're gonna have to land. I don't know how we're gonna even do that, not gonna lie. We can land our army in Yemen and bring more troops and then march into Oman. That's what we're gonna do. This war is so logistically painful for our navy, but it is their job after all. The relationship with Brazil. We'll bring all those other soldiers that we had fighting in the war with Byzantium over too. I really wish there was a Suez. I keep thinking, oh, it's easy to get them over to Yemen. Nope. No, it is not. And getting to Asia was so hard before the Suez. It's kind of crazy. How's USA looking? Let's go take a look for a moment. Not the same. They've integrated Illinois. We have a fairly good relationship with them. They have a royal marriage with Castalla. They're fighting Japan right now. Whoa. The Japanese-American War happened a little early in this timeline. What are they fighting over? Japan invaded Canada, and they're protecting them. We're allied with Japan, remember? Yeah, they're winning that war, actually. My gosh, okay. Oh. We'll wait in eastern Yemen, and then we'll bring over more troops back from Europe. The Fat Man should be able to build it. They have the resources. You can build it in EU4, can't you? I think there's a way for it. It's just really expensive. Yeah, they can be built. I thought so. Don't suppose they've started. Probably not. No, Japan and the United States are meant for war. Honestly, given the effort put into these Asian wars compared to the relative ease of the Papal, Yoruba, and Byzantine wars, I could see a shift of focus in Sardinia. Honestly, true. But I think once we start to see that trade value we're going to be getting out of Asia, that may also shift again. We also, again, are also now in power in the Genoa trade node, shockingly. By a fair bit, actually. So our main fleet. Let's bring our fleet back to Port in Sassari, and I'm going to build us some more heavy ships too. I wonder what population is going to look like for us in Victoria 3, because Sassari and Corsica should be like huge. I mean, Sassari was a mega city in like CK3 almost, due to development. Privateering and like what? We don't want to piss off Castalla, so we'll just ignore it. They sent an army. That's really good. How many troops do they have? They only have 40,000 left max in mainland Oman. I'm gonna do a little risky here, and I'm gonna go ahead and push into Oman. They only have 40,000 soldiers. We might be fine if we're careful. We can retreat back into Yemen if we need to. We're in a full-blown desert campaign here. Japan and Canada are mortal enemies. They fight like cats and dogs, or dogs and Japanese. Or Japanese and Japanese. The Japanese did ruin Japan. That's true. Buildings. I tried to click on Northern Sinai and the game crashed. That's not good. Apparently, we're not supposed to see the Suez Canal. The Fat Mids knocked out EU4 to stop us from seeing what's going on. Maybe there's a bugged building there. I'm a little worried about that. Yeah, it probably is, and we crashed the game trying to see it. Or the aliens in Stellaris didn't allow us to get out of Pre-Sapience, and we were just world cracked or something, you know? It could be too. Just the North Sinai, not the South. The South's fine. Almost 10. All right, let's see if we knock out Oman here, and then I will end. So I am fairly tired too. I do enjoy weekend streams, but after my second 8-hour stream in a weekend, it's always a little tiring. I've got a lot of mods on Crack. I'll link them to you real quick. If I still have them linked, I might. This is the mod pack I am using for EU4. The secret Fat Man anti-revolutionary forces have a base in North Sinai. Maybe due to the mod updated between saves. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that's why the trade goods mod stopped working. Because there was the domination update and then all the mods updated while I was still playing EU4, so that might have been causing some issues like that. Hopefully that doesn't hurt the translator of the Vic 3. I may have to just do a lot of edits, but we'll see. Yes, I did. Yeah, I've been in EU4 for I think like two months now, something like that, maybe a little longer. Let's hope that autosave isn't too far back as well. I'm half tempted to end, but we've been fighting Oman for so long now. I want to end at least that part of this war. Ooh, yeah, it's really far back. Oh, we got screwed there. That's really far back. This is before Byzantium, I think, even lost the war, unless I'm mistaken. It's not too bad, actually. It's not that far back. All right, let's land in Oman then. All right, I'm gonna get the save and try and look at Northern Sinai and see if that's actually causing a crash, because that is serious. Suez Canal, they haven't built it yet, though. I didn't know it was a great project. That's cool. True. The artillery battle is still completely canon, so we're fine. That's the important part. The artillery battle where Seymour Alfieri charged 18,000 artillerymen into battle will live in our memory forever. This is high risk. We lost all of our artillery because they got slaughtered after the battle. Oh my gosh, that's why this is going to take forever. All right. We're going back into Yemen. I'm bringing more troops. We lost so much artillery. I just connected those dots. Actually recruit some more. Again, do another half stack. I'm definitely going to fire on that port, but we actually need artillery to win this. We're going to camp out in the desert of Yemen while we wait for our artillery reinforcements. Welcome back, Russia. Wait, hold on. I told you to go to Europe, didn't I? I guess not. We would do. I forget that we actually can technically form Sardinia Piedmont. We'd have to fight Castello for it though, which is probably not going to happen. More ducats. Whatever buildings can we work on right now? Much left to build. Hulls, depots. That. Yeah, we're just almost out of buildings. Due to developing everything. I mean, we have a lot more territory than we used to, but for a period there, I think we almost had, like, I'd say probably 24 provinces left. So it's been that way for a while. Everything's so developed now. Struggle without, struggle within. Sometimes we see conflicts on an international stage mirrored within our own borders. Today we received news that our war with Sunni nations has brought about a religious conflict in Kairouan, where the Sunni and Catholic faith exist side by side. People who used to be neighbors and friends are attacking each other over what they perceive as differences between us and our adversaries. We're very tolerant, so our especially our king would not like that. We're gonna try and unite them around our common national identity. We took the freedom of religion, government reform too, so we are very tolerant. You say is the most defining moment in the entire campaign so far? Oh, that's tough. There's been so many big ones. Oh, okay. Thought we lost an admiral. We're fine. Mita Gaetani della Quilla. Ooh. That's a hard question, Jay. Good timing on our transport fleet. We've got rebels in Sicily. Most defining moment. That'd be a big one. I think they were the what would that have been, like the 6th or 7th Castilian War, where we actually fought off their whole navy and fought them to a standstill. That was probably it, to be frank. We're gonna keep enforcing serfdom. It sucks that we have to be on the same side as the nobles, but we are still very pro-serfdom right now. Yeah, probably the naval battles in that War of Castile, I'd say. I mean, like, if we had lost that war and hadn't won those naval battles, we would have been almost annexed wholesale by Castella, and we would have been game over right after. So probably that. That huge battle when we thought like 300 ships against 50 of our own off the coast of Gibraltar especially was a big one. Probably when we formed when another huge one would have been when the Papal States failed to honor the Cold War against Castella and we became rivals with them. That changed so much of the future of both of our countries. But probably again the naval battles. Again, there's so many little ones. I'd say the naval battles in that recent War of Castella. Yeah, 2 wars ago, 2 wars of Castella ago, I think it was. Yeah, there's so many. It's hard to keep track. We fought them so many times. Right in, huh? Solidity Cardi. Defend here. In case they need a retreat, we're gonna hold. Nope, we got it. Leave 2,000 men in Sicily, and the rest we're gonna send to Oman. Yeah, those naval battles and those 2 recent wars with Castella were just so crazy. Take rights of man early and get that last idea group. All right, so folks, this is our last vote for idea group. What suggestions do you think that we should go for here for our last one? Anything suggested, I'll put in the poll and then y'all get to decide. What do we think given recent times? There's a case to be made, obviously, I think, for humanism, for diplomacy, and for offense at this point. Those are the ones that immediately come to mind to me, but any other suggestions and I'll throw them into the poll. Administration also makes sense. Take the joint stock companies. Yeah, we can afford it easily. Get a commander on our army here and start drilling them too. Humanism? Okay. I'll do administration, humanism, diplomacy, and offense in the poll then. This will be our last vote for an idea group in EU4. Do a 3-minute poll on that one. Humanism, with the recent trying to mend religious divisions abroad, could be Solomon's last contribution. That makes sense. He seems like a tolerant guy. Well-advised was his last trait, by the way. He's a bold fighter, industrious, and well-advised. This is probably, I'd say, one of our greatest kings in House Torres history. We don't have the life that CK3 breathes into these characters, but man, if he was a king in CK3, he'd go down like Lysandro, I'm just saying. I mean, pretty iconic character here. And then, of course, the very incompetent son, as that always goes. All right, our troops are here. Perhaps espionage to establish an information network to keep tabs on rivals and dangerous foes. That would make sense too, Crack, actually. Especially with our diplomatic networks throughout all of Europe at this point. Could definitely easily become espionage. We are just about out of buildings. Around the fort. He is pretty impressive. His diplomatic ability is really bad, which is why we have like 0 allies right now. I mean, we still got Lombardy and Japan. That's it though. Diplomatic marriage and dynasty connections are the backbone of medieval politics. Alliances and plots were built on the sacred union before God. But recently, some nobles have become open-minded in that regard. When a pagan kingdom projects influence named revolutionary Bremen, ambitious Christian nobles are often eager to seek power even with heathens. The part of them being heathen is not the issue. The part of them being a hive of revolutionary fervor is the issue. I think we're looking at this the wrong way. We're going to denounce them, not because of the religious issue. That's not a problem. The problem is they're consorting with families in regions held by revolutionary governments. That's unacceptable, so we'll condone them. Siege. Gonna take a wee bit of attrition here. Should not matter too much. Loss of our loans. Humanism. We took the Omani flagship too. Humanism for our last idea. We're going to be going into Victoria 3 as a really contradictory country. We're ruled by an absolute monarch with total power, but at the same time we are religiously tolerant, extremely religiously tolerant, and home to really early industrialization. Just so many contradictions in our nation. Makes it more interesting though. I wonder what they'll do for interest groups with a converter. That'll be cool. Still have those sieges? We do. Just out of curiosity. No, not fair. Oh, no. I don't think we make that. Oh, we made it. Oh, we made it. We saved those soldiers. Hell yeah. What's in this war? Now that is interesting. Yeah. We don't need a border with the Chagatai. They're conquering all Southeast Asia now, too. They are a war machine. That is just insane. Let's say well outside of the mainland Southeast Asian region there. Everything else in gold. As much as we can load onto our ships. and we will end the War of Oman. That only leaves the Pang, who we're still at war with, but I will do that next session because we are at time and I am very tired. Today's session has been absolutely wild. We have not only fought off one of the 10 strongest powers in Europe with Yorubaland, we took advantage of the partition of Byzantium to take islands to the east and gain power in Italy. And we have taken lands in Papua New Guinea, establishing ourselves a trade company in Asia and becoming once more a colonial power. By far one of the craziest and most intense days in the mega campaign in quite some time. Well, maybe not intense. We'll go crazy. Something like that. All right, folks, we are ending here. Let me see if there's anyone to raid very briefly before I end. If there's any EU4 streamers we could raid.